Hello and welcome to the Friday Night Social with me, Graham Hughes, and I'm joined tonight by Super Tansky. How you doing, Tan? You all
Yeah,
right?
man. Yeah, I'm all right. I've just been joined by Rogue Fred.
And Rogue Fred, named after
Yeah,
Fred West, yeah.
obviously. Yeah,
Ovs, ovs.
my all-time hero. Number one.
Harold and Fred, they make ladies dead. Okay, so, so
Oh.
that was the Viz, that wasn't me. So before we kick off tonight, I'm just going to say that more people might be joining us later, but for now we're just going to keep it a little bit low key because honestly I'm feeling a bit under the weather. I've not been 100% all week, to be honest with you. So yeah, we might keep it. I'm not drinking. Tan. Are you on anything?
Like I rarely drink anymore. This is the first drink that I've had in about 6 weeks, and it's made. I was just telling Graham it was made out the contents of what I've got left in my fridge, and it's like a bit of like raspberry liqueur, a
Yeah.
bit of elderflower liqueur, and this weird like hipster wine that Jules gave me for my birthday.
He gave you hipster
And
wine. Why is it hipster wine?
yeah,
Does it have a well trimmed beard on it?
it has like this weird what is that thing there?
Sailor
Oh, that's
tat.
my own straw. It's freaking me out. It's all back to front. Um, yeah, it's kind of like it came in this kind of like casing, like this like cardboard casing, and this weird plastic bottle, and it's some kind of Pinot. So I just had that with some like sparkling water. So yeah, I was referring to it as a Dignitas juice. But it should be like an indignitas juice,
You've
like
been
there's no,
minesweeping your own fridge. That's
yeah,
that's
there's
that's when it comes to
yeah,
that. But yeah,
there's no dignity.
when you're not used to sugar and you have some sugar, you just realise it's horrible, isn't it?
Yeah, I was just saying as well, yeah, that I've been like on a health kick and I've given up most sugar basically. I've not had any junk food for about 2 weeks at
Wow.
all. I've just been surviving on pure protein and been doing workouts trying to sort my shoulder out because I've displaced it from being bendy. So I just had some like this sugary drink and it just I feel like a toddler. I feel like I'm on crack. But it's also horrible. It's like, oh, I don't it's synthetic. It doesn't taste
Yeah,
right.
yeah, indeed,
Um
indeed.
anyway.
So we got in the chat tonight. We got let us know if you're in the house tonight. Either just leave a message, or if you're not subscribed to the channel, you won't be able to leave a message. So subscribe. God damn it, subscribe to the channel, and you will be able to leave a message after about a minute of waiting. But just a big shout out to everybody out there. Who have we got? We've got Sarah Davis, Chrissy, Storytiller, because Teller was taken. We've got Ivan Ambrose, Vendetta 9000 in there. We've got Jim, Lost Missionary, Billy Kershaw, Chris C. Oh, there's so many lovely people in the show, in the chat tonight, and they're part of the show. So please, let us know what you think, and we'll try and bring in as many of the comments as possible. If you definitely want us to read what you've got to say about whatever we're talking about, please feel free to drop a super chat in, and we will definitely read it then. But otherwise, hit that subscribe button and wait for a minute, and you can join the chat. So yeah, let's kick things off with talking about my favorite news slur for Trump, which is taco tits. I love that because it's got Trump always chickens out, and it reminds me of chippy tits, which was the insult for Joe Anderson, the former mayor of Liverpool, who was turned out
Really?
to be corrupt as fuck. Yeah, I called him chippy tits. That's what we
Chippy
called him.
tits.
Chippy tits.
Pretty sounds better in a Liverpudlian accent.
But although Trump does always chicken out, he has put in a lot of tariffs that are still like 5, 6, 7, 10 times the amount they used to be. The worst one is Brazil. He's put a 50% tariff on Brazil, which is a net importer of American goods, right? They don't have a trade deficit with America. In fact, America has a trade deficit with Brazil. And the reason he's put this 50% tariff on is because his mate, Bolsonaro, the former
Uh,
president, is on trial. And he's like, no, not having this, not having my mate on trial.
they're
I'm
all
going
on fucking trial. Like Netanyahu's trying to kind of avoid his own corruption charges. You've got like, how many charges have been leveled at Trump? They're
to.
just so massively corrupt. It's like you're brave, I tell you. Like peeking behind the veil of American politics, whilst our own politics is so bad. Like I don't understand how you guys manage to keep a toe in it all because it's so depressing. Like I'm struggling to even like make sense or keep up with our own at the
Yeah,
moment.
yeah. Well, I mean, we're also lucky to have the people in the chat who, refer to things that we might not have missed. We might have missed that have
Yeah.
happened in the week. Like, I'm putting
Mm.
together the. I do like a little thing before I come on where we'll look at the news stories from the week and try and pick out the ones that I want to talk about. But
Mm.
even like at the end of a week, there'll be stories from 2 days ago, and I've read them. I've read articles about them. And also, there's so much new stuff turning up every day. I've forgotten it. I've forgotten it within like 48 hours. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember. Oh, I remember that. Oh yeah, I mean, Jesus Christ. But yeah,
It's so bad.
the thing that Gunny, thank you very much for the first super chat of the evening. £2 off Gunny. Thank you so much for that. I've been watching South Park. A must watch. Thank you so much for the super chat there. I realised the super chat animation was behind us. I'll try and sort that out in a moment. Did you see it, Tan? Did you
See
see
what?
South Park this week?
I've not watched South Park for years. The only thing that made me pay attention again was the Trump sketch. Like that's the only thing that kind
Yes.
of. But they've moved over to Paramount, isn't it? Like they've moved over
No,
somewhere.
it's just Comedy Central. It's just been owned by Paramount. Comedy Central, I think, has been owned
They've
by
not
Paramount for a long
moved.
time.
They've not
No,
moved there.
but they were given a
Oh,
new $1.5 billion contract, which covered all the old episodes and 50 new episodes.
ah,
And the day after they got that contract with Paramount, they did Sermon on the apostrophe Mount, as in Sermons on the Paramount, and just absolutely ripped into them for being cowards and for just, fawning over Trump, giving him the 60 million payout that he asked for because a 60 minutes interview with Kamala Harris was edited for brevity on a trailer. And
wow.
then they were like, no, that's not the exact answer she gave in the trailer. And it's like, well, yeah, because they edited it differently. It was
I had no
just
like who are the people that own the thing that's just been cancelled, the Friday night no, it's Colbert.
Paramount. Paramount.
Oh, is it
Yeah.
Colbert that
Colbert. Yeah.
he did a really good I saw a clip of what he did the other day on Fred's. But I'll level with you. Like I have been after those really disturbing like white supremacist remarks that JD Vance made about Europe. Something like uncivilized, you're losing your culture, like your culture risks being I can't remember the exact quote now.
Funny an American talking about culture, eh?
Oh, uncivilized almost. It's that kind of dirty word that they have always used for people that are basically not white. He's got a wife of color and kids of color, man. And after that, and then seeing today Lammy, playing nice with him, I was just like, nope. I was noping out because I've spent the last 2 days like up to my eyeballs like researching the far right and the Epping protests and all that stuff. And I was just like, do you know what? It's enough fascism, thank you. I think I've had enough fascism for 1 week.
Yeah, it's almost too much. Like it's relentless. It's absolutely relentless,
That's the
and it's
nature
it's
of it.
hard enough keeping on top of what's happening in the UK. So this week
Yeah.
we've had protests against people coming across on boats for no reason other than that's what Rupert Murdoch wants. How mad is it that it's 2025 and there's one guy, and he's 100 years old, and he's born on the other side of the fucking planet 100 years ago, and he gets to decide when he wakes up in the morning what our entire nation is to hate that day.
It's not all Rupert Murdoch though. I wish it was, man. I mean, it's not just him. I get what you're saying because, the press is not exactly, varied and free, is it? But it's like it's so far beyond that now in terms of what you see with online radicalization. Even since I started doing this, like being terminally online 5 years ago, doing all this, the landscape is completely different. It's another level now.
Yeah.
Like I am actually scared about it. Like I honestly feel like giving up more than I ever have, because I don't know how to counter it anymore. It's that bad, and every day they're just radicalizing more and more people whose lot in life isn't great, and setting the scene for their ascent to power, pretty much. Like, look at, you know, Farage, etc. They created the conditions, and then they're claiming to be the strong man to fix the conditions.
Only I can save us from the problem that I caused.
Labour over a barrel financially. They're screwed because they're tied up by their own fiscal rules. And
they're too timid. They're too timid. The only thing that they ever put their foot down about is invisible fucking rules that they made up, like invisible red tape and red lines that they've just created themselves. Do you know, it's like, go to red alert Labour, and he goes, "Oh, you sure, sir? It does mean changing the colour of the fucking bulb." I'm like, it's just imaginary. Labour have no reason to abide by these stupid rules that they've set themselves. And yet here we are. You know, and the Labour have got this massive majority. And instead of wielding that majority like a bunch of twats, like what Biden should have done after he won the election, because he didn't just win the presidency, he won the lower house, the House of Representatives, and he won the Congress as well. Sorry, the Senate. So he won both houses in Congress, and he had the presidency. He could have done what the fuck he liked. He could have had Trump arrested on the spot, thrown into a box, dig a hole, throw the box in the hole. He could have done that. And they chose not to, because they were too fucking timid, and now they've got Trump again, and it's worse than ever. And this is the same thing that's going to happen in the UK if Labour don't get a fucking rocket under them. I tell you.
Well, they're literally like no actual like coherent vision. This is the problem. And there's the thing that I'm finding with Farage is that it's the whole familiarity breeds trust. Basically, it's not contempt. So it's giving him like the illusion of credibility. And then you've got the fact that he is like a gold mine to the news organizations and clicks per second, whatever. Like, people love him or hate him, people click on it. And then you've got the eye line aspect of people buy, you know, what's sold to them at their eye level, and it's like the environment's fucked, people are like broke, destitute, desperate, so they're easily conned into these really simple, you know, swindles that are basically being pushed by these fucking toffs.
But we had a show called Watchdog back in the 90s where they had people on who've been conned by someone who sold them a fucking vacuum cleaner for 800 quid. I think his name was James Dyson. And like, you know, they would come on and you'd watch it and you'd go, "Oh, you fucking knobhead." And it was like a warning. It was like a warning that all the old ladies watched and went, "Oh, if a nice man comes to my door offering me a vacuum cleaner for 800 quid, I'll tell him to fuck off." And like, that was great. That was like a public service. Labour need to be doing that. Labour need to be doing like Reform Watch. That's what they need to be doing. And pointing out all this stuff that you point out each week, that Phil points out, that Aid and our other friends point out all the time on social media. We were like on YouTube, we were on TikTok, we were on Facebook, whatever, just saying, look, this is bullshit. But our voices, even in, you know, when we have quite a big audience, you've got a big reach on Twitter, on TikTok, Phil's got a big reach on YouTube. I mean, it's still tiny compared with the reach that Labour could have if it got its fucking thumb out its arse. And what did it do last week when it goes, "Oh, we should do something about our comms"? Could you imagine this conversation, Tan? Like, they're sitting around the table and they're like, "I don't think our comms are doing very well. We've got the lowest approval rating of any time we've ever been in government in history. Yeah, we're not doing too well on the comms. What should we do? Oh, we'll get some twat from the fucking Sun newspaper in to be our guru. Tell us about social media, you fucking misogynistic dinosaur."
Yeah. He's accused of
what?
Yeah. No, it's like getting fucking Kelvin McKenzie in. That's basically like the equivalent of what they've done. Yeah. Like the Sun.
He worked for the Sun in 1990. That was only a few months after Hillsborough happened, and they were still running lies. Just before we go on, Tan, I've got a few super chats to go through.
Oh, okay.
So thank you so much for the super chats. Really cool and exciting to have them. Also very cool and excited to have Ivan Ambrose. first of all, for the super chat. Thank you. Graham, I sure you feel lucky having me in the stream and chat with Trump in the thumbnail. You know I don't usually do that. I know, Ivan, we're not going to talk about that too much tonight. I just thought it was a funny thumbnail. In fact, Trump's not on the thumbnail. It's MAGA. And there's a coronavirus with like Trump hats on that I stole off someone else's cartoon
Well
site.
done, Graham.
John C, thank you very much for the £10 super chat. Fool Rupert Lowe and his fellow vigilantes stalked a boat of charity rowers. Did you hear about this?
But yeah, I did. Yeah.
Ellie to Lanza and to John O'Groats for the MND charity and posted messages on Twitter that he'd located illegal immigrants.
Unbelievable, honestly. Like you know what, Low is the worst of them.
Is it, Tan? Is it unbelievable? Because they are that thick.
They're not thick. They're very calculating. Like they're on it. Like they know exactly what they're doing with this, you know.
Yeah.
And then he can just obviously because he's Mr. Moneybags. He's just thrown a bunch of money at the situation. He's donated to their charity and he's gone, well, it's important to be vigilant. And as a consequence, it's like, because the thing is, there is this vacuum. Like, not only are they simultaneously given a veil of credibility, but they've got a scrutiny vacuum. So there's no scrutiny. So they're everywhere, but they're not everywhere critically.
Yeah.
Like no one's criticizing them. It's like it's crazy. And when you look at things like what Ed Davies saying at the moment, like Ed Davies saying all the right shit about this, saying, because Farage, etc., are prejudicing trials, like claiming that these, that people are criminals automatically by dint of being asylum seekers, like that have been arrested.
Yeah. But if they did it, they're making it more likely that they'll get away with it because it will get deemed a mistrial, and they'll get away with it. Like, it's just like, whose side are they on? Well,
where's the Attorney General?
Yeah.
Where's the Attorney General in this? Who should be intervening?
Anyway.
But like our former head of counter-terrorism, Neil Basu, who is a legend, by the way, the only guy that ever really called out like the riots as terrorism, has been saying like this is just peak MAGA. This is like no respect for our law, like all coppers, our working class, medium wage. They're not rich. They're not taking home loads of money. Rare that I stick up for coppers, but like these are like rich guys basically putting them in line of like the bottles of far right activists who are co-opting these protests.
Yeah. Absolute scum. Anyway, I haven't finished reading now John's message because he put egg and face, idiot. I don't think he was talking to us. He was talking about Rupert Lowe. What a Rupert.
I hope so.
What an absolute Rupert. Rupert should be the most offensive word, shouldn't it, in the English language, like Belgium.
Fucking Rupert.
Fucking Rupert. Viper Scott, Alistair, thank you so much for the £5 super chat. Hi, Graham. Hi, Super Tansy. Glad to see you, Tan. Hope things are better for you. Sending hugs from Alistair and Scotland. There you go, all the way from Scotland.
Thank you, Alistair.
Get a bit shortbread with that.
Scotland. I'm not going to do it. I always try and do accents. It's so offensive. I'm just offensively bad at them. I can't do them.
You couldn't be as bad as like, I don't know, Russell Crowe in the movie Robin Hood. That's just it's kind of phenomenal. Anyway,
you can pay me to watch that, mate.
Dagsby 4685. Thank you so much for the £10 super chat. Here's some money to help you through the end times. Oh, thanks, Dagsby. Really appreciate it. Have you heard about this movie that's come out, Tan? This sounds like I'm making it up. There's a movie that's come out, the War of the Worlds movie.
It's a movie. What, a remake of War of the World?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so it's Ice Cube, I think, is playing the guy in the film.
Fuck?
Right?
We're not even trying anymore.
I think it's Ice Cube, and then basically it was filmed during lockdown, and then it sat on the shelf for 5 years because no one wanted to release it, right? And then Amazon got their hands on it. I think they reshot the end of it or something. Tan, like, it's got 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. 0, right?
Really?
And it's because it's basically Ice Cube. I think it's Ice Cube. If it's someone else, I'm sorry.
I'm going to look this up quickly.
But it's basically him talking into a computer for like 2 hours, trying to avert the end of the world. And the way they
What?
avert the end of the world, sorry, spoilers for anyone who's desperate to see this movie, is they send an Amazon package. This is an
What?
Amazon movie, and he saves the world from the aliens by getting a USB pen that he orders on Amazon. You watch him order it on Amazon for $19.99. And then it gets attached to a drone, an Amazon drone, and delivered to where he's working. So we can plug that in, and it kills the aliens who are eating data. Because what they eat is data, Tan.
Fuck me.
It is Ice Cube.
How could they do this to H.G. Wells, man?
2.8 on Internet Movie Database. Now, look, cards on the table. I never cared for the Spielberg version of War of the Worlds, but this is making that look like a masterpiece.
I mean, I've never cared for Spielberg, full stop, to be fair.
Harsh.
Like, it's just. I mean, didn't he do E.T.? He did E.T., didn't he?
He did E.T.
E.T. was good, yeah.
Hey, Tan, what's E.T. short for?
I don't know, Graham. What's E.T.?
He's only got little legs.
Oh.
That's it. I'm just going to end the show there.
I wish that you'd had the thing from Shooting Stars.
I've just done the squeaky. Oh, you wouldn't have seen it because you get a different feed to everyone else. I've just done a squeaky tank. You know, from the parade that Trump had with the squeaky tank. So the one squeaky tank slowly going across the screen.
Did you just have that?
Yeah, just had that one.
Are we on screen?
Yeah. It goes. It's like an overlay on the top. It just goes along the bottom of the screen.
Genius, Graham.
Bumps along and it's like every time I tell a really shit joke. I'm getting just face palms. Alistair's just putting face palms.
I was trying to channel my inner Eureka and do the kind of like, because that just really reminded me of Vic's jokes on Shooting Stars.
It's just jokes that always involve the dove somehow. The dove from above. Phone box chicken in the chat just says E.T. is a shit film.
Wow.
So why do you hate E.T.?
Me?
Yeah.
I didn't say I did. I said E.T. was all right.
Oh, okay.
I'm just not a big fan of like American-y blockbusters, but mind you, Spielberg was a better era because at least now evidently they're not even trying.
Yes.
Like they've not been trying for a long time, but now it's just we've jumped the shark with this, like completely jumped the shark. I mean H.G.
H.G. Wells will be turning in his grave.
It's one of the first things that ever scared the shit out of me as a kid was my dad's record of it. My dad had it on vinyl and he played it. And not just that, but also the beginning of I can't remember which Pink Floyd LP it was. The one where it's got Time to Go at the very, very beginning of it. It's got that kind of, it sounds like they're on a ship. And you can just hear Time to Go. And it's like the very beginning of, I can't remember which Pink Floyd album it is. Someone in the chat
will know.
But no, War of the Worlds, like, because it was on vinyl and it was almost like listening to like an audio book.
Yeah.
Because you had the narrator. I can't remember who the narrator was on the vinyl.
It was Richard Burton.
Yeah, of course it was, yeah.
No one would have believed in the final years of the 20th century. Jeff Wayne's? Yeah. Jeff Wayne's War of the Worlds.
Jeff Wayne's.
That's fucking awesome now.
It was so scary because obviously I had an extremely vivid imagination.
It is on the wall. Everyone's shouting the wall. It was the wall.
It is the wall, yeah. And so it used to, I think it's the very beginning of Comfortably Numb, I think.
Oh, yeah. Shropshire Chris saying Comfortably Numb.
Yeah. And but War of the Worlds was.
I love our chat. Like, honestly, there's about 17 responses there saying the wall and Comfortably Numb.
These guys are
savvy our viewers are.
Well, they're able to Google. I'm not currently able to talk and Google. Like talk bullshit and Google is not my honestly. But no, yeah, War of the Worlds was like legitimately terrifying because I'd never heard anything like it.
Yeah.
As a kid, you wouldn't have heard like because you either even though it was a vinyl and it was by obviously like it was quite archaic almost, even in like the what it would have been what the late 80s, early 90s. Um, it was that whole like an audio book or a book itself. You are deep in your imagination, aren't you? So I could see it all. And all I had to go on of these scary creatures was the cover art, which was terrifying. It was just these big sticky things with these like eye like ugh.
Yeah.
Um, but no, it's proper
Thunder
scary.
Child. Thunder. I was trying to remember the name of the ship. It was Thunder Child. What I really loved about the original H.G. Wells version, this book, is that it's set in Victorian times,
Mm.
and so it's people with muskets trying to fight against aliens with lasers, and I love that idea. I love the idea of that, technology turning up in Victorian times. And one of the reasons I
Yeah.
didn't like Spielberg's War of the Worlds is it had Tom Cruise in it, but also it was set
Yeah.
now. It was set now in modern day where people have got mobile
Oh,
phones, and it just I don't know. It took a layer away for me. I wish it had done it as a period piece.
no, I
Um,
agree.
but
Like,
like
yeah, because yeah.
honestly, after the mauling that Amazon has given the Lord of the Rings, that it's made it into a TV series, which is fucking appalling. I'm really scared now because they've got James Bond, and there's a hope because they got the guy who's written Peaky Blinders to do the script for it. They've got quite a good director lined up, but I'm just really worried they're going to fuck it up so badly. And what I think that would make a good James Bond, and me and Rach have talked about this on the Rabbit Hole. I think that a really good version of it would be set as it was in the 1950s and 60s, because then you can do it like Mad Men, where it's of its time, and he can be a horrible cunt. Sorry, it's a country member. Oh, shit, I've just demonetized the channel.
Now
Damn
you
it!
doubt you have.
Damn
I
it! It
doubt,
wasn't even you. I can't even blame.
I
Can't even
doubt you have
blame
because
Wayne.
they've actually brought back a thing where you can actually swear very early on, apparently, as long as they're relatively mild swears. But
Yeah, but Americans freak out with the C bomb, don't they?
I think you're going to be all right this far in.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I,
like
I tell you what was fucking boss. The original Orson Welles version of the radio drama that caused panic in America because it was done like a real radio broadcast that aliens were invading. It was in like in the 1930s.
oh, what
And
was that?
Orson Welles at the time was only a kid. He was only like 21 or something. And he managed
Oh,
to do this like War of the Worlds thing on the radio on I think it was RKO radio. And people panicked and people ran out into the streets going, the aliens are coming, because they thought it was
no,
realistic.
I mean, that sounds awesome. I need to listen to that. I love a radio play.
Yeah.
I'm secretly like a massive fan of radio plays.
Well, dig out Orson Welles's
I'm gonna make a note of this.
version of H.G. Wells's without the E. War of the Worlds. It's well worth seeing.
What was that radio play you were just talking about?
War of the Worlds.
No. Orson
What?
Welles did what? Sorry.
Orson Welles, the director of Citizen Kane, before he did Citizen Kane, he did a version of War of the Worlds on the radio
Oh,
in like the
okay.
1930s, and people thought it was real.
I would really strongly recommend, whilst we're just
Caused a
before
mass
we move
panic,
on, I've just written that down. Thank
as
you.
Trip Trip says.
I would recommend we're having a wonderful time. The radio play of the J.G. Ballard short story.
All right.
It is like a lot of his stuff, just really weird.
So
They
J.G. Ballard wrote Clockwork Orange and Empire of the
no,
Sun and Crash.
I don't think J.G. Ballard did Clockwork Orange.
Who did Clockwork Orange then? Jesus.
Um,
I
uh,
wish we had some kind of like Google thing where we could just Google
we
Anthony
need a
Burgess. Anthony
uh,
Burgess. I
yeah,
didn't
we
even
need
type anything then.
what we need is a like Susie Dent in the
Yeah.
corner, like
Yeah.
doing like fact
Yeah,
checking.
telling us. No, J.G. Ballard wrote Empire of the Sun, you dickhead, not fucking Clockwork Orange.
J.G. Ballard did
That was
Crash,
Anthony
High
Burgess.
Rise,
Yeah.
but I said we're having a wonderful time. Is like much of his stuff, just like like Crash, where it's like they're just stuck, and in we're having a wonderful time. Like a bunch of like people that work and their families go off on this holiday that's kind of all paid for by the company.
Yeah.
They just keep getting like activities thrown at them. But like they keep, when can we leave? Oh, yeah, enjoy the leisure time, enjoy this. It's like, yeah, but we need to go home. It's like, no, there's loads for you to do here. Like, so, but they and then they just can't leave. Like it's kind of almost like Sartre, you know,
Yeah.
like a lot of his stuff is very kind of like Sartre-esque, kind of existentialist. But that is a really genuinely chilling radio play. And I know about it only because Jarvis Cocker, when he did his Sunday service, played a snippet of it. And I was like, I need to find out who this J.G. Ballard dude is. I'd never heard of him before. And then I bought about 7 of his books.
Well, he wrote Empire of the Sun, which was a Steven Spielberg film starring a very young Christian Bale before he became Batman.
Really?
Yeah. Just saw it when he was a kid. He was in a movie called Empire of the Sun, and it was about the Japanese invasion of China, I think.
Oh, of course. Yes, yes, yes. I mean, Concrete Island is the not Crash, is the one where the car goes off the edge of a kind of like, you know, you've got those things that
There was a
those.
movie of Crash that came out in the mid-90s.
Yeah, I was just confusing Crash with Concrete Island. They're two,
Yeah.
but he did write both of them. But you know those
High Rise
overpasses,
as well.
those kind of
Yeah.
like roads that go over each other like that. He kind of ends up veering off one, but he can't get out from under the like. I'm not going to go into it too much, but he wrote loads of really amazing. They did High Rise as a
Yeah.
film. Like it had what's his name? Great dancer. Tom Hiddleston was in
All right.
High Rise. Yeah. It's really good. It's actually a really good film. It's got
Oh,
Matey out of League of Gentlemen in it.
yeah. It was directed by Ben Wheatley, who did A Field in England. I like him.
Rish, I really highly recommend that you watch High Rise because it's all about the hierarchies in this high rise building and all the different people
Oh,
on
it's got
different
Tom
levels.
Hiddleston, Jeremy Irons, Sienna Miller.
Yeah. There's some
Ah,
really great
Elizabeth
actors in it,
Moss.
and it's like the kind of social hierarchy of the higher up the building you are, and on like down the lower, you've got all the kind of menial workers on the lower floors and the kind of
Yeah.
clerical workers, and then when you get up to the top floor, it's like the aristocracy, and they've got fucking horses running around, and you know, like they've just got like all the light. It's like a really brutalist kind of like high rise building,
Mm.
and then it all just descends into chaos.
Yeah, well, at least 5 of the people listed, 4 of the 5 I know went to private school. So yeah, should be quite interesting what the private school people
Who
think
went to
about class.
private school? The
Tom
actors.
Hiddleston, Jeremy Irons, Sienna Miller, and Elizabeth Moss. Elizabeth Moss is she's a Scientologist, you know. She's a full-up paid member of the Scientologist community,
And she does Handmaid's
and she
Tale.
does Handmaid's Tale about people who are in
Christ.
this mad cult, trapped in this
Christ.
mad cult where they treat women like really terribly. As in
Fuck.
the leader of Scientology, his wife's not been seen for like 15 years or something. She just disappeared. No investigation.
Well, like things are getting worse, man. They're starting to call like they're not even calling women females anymore. They're calling them host vessels.
Oh, Jesus Christ, that's sickening. That's absolutely sickening. John's mentioning Cronenberg. Yeah, it was a Cronenberg film, Crash. It was really fucked up. It's about people who get off on getting into car accidents.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, you know, not to kink shame, but I'd advise against that one.
Yeah, that's a bit like the old
Bit much.
strangle wank in it. This is a bit too
Asphyxie
dangerous.
wank.
Asphyxie wank.
Asphyxie wank.
Listen, if you could do me a favour, if I go in a really boring way, like I just die in my sleep or something, can you just tell everyone that I died having an asphyxie wank? Because people will remember that.
What I'll do, if you want, what was the
Yeah.
name of that Tory MP back in the 80s who was like found on his kitchen table in stockings with an orange in his mouth?
Box something.
He was a Tory and it was like really suspicious. Like he was found in a really very humiliating way, but who fucking cares? He was a Tory, but he in a way that would have probably been humiliating for him. Hence why, you know,
Stephen Milligan.
Stephen Milligan, yeah, very few questions were asked about this because of you can find only literally 1 or 2 articles about it. But yeah, what I'll do is I'll tell them that you were like
He's part of the private school mafia. That's where he learned to do it. Gonna have to add him to the list.
were there any like crackers lying around his
Surrounded by like a little semicircle of crackers.
of biscuits?
Yeah,
there'd have been
apparently
more.
self-strangled during an act of autoerotic asphyxiation, which we do not recommend.
So do you want me to go down the strangle wank route or do you want to go
Yeah,
down
strangle wank.
Yeah, you want to strangle bang?
just the funniest situation, preferably. Just so people remember
Okay.
it. Like, I once
Like,
interviewed the lead singer of the Bloodhound Gang, Jimmy
did
Pop,
you?
and I asked him one of the questions. It was like a 20-question thing. And one of the questions was, what would you like written on your gravestone? And he had to think, and he went, Jimi Hendrix. Why? Because then people might turn up and put some flowers down.
Those guys were so funny. I saw
They're
them at
really
the
funny in
first
real
ever
life as well.
festival.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. Just always like just joking and funny, just very
Their
very funny.
song, "A Lap Dance is So Much Better When the Stripper is Crying," is one of the darkest things I've ever heard. But no, like I loved them when I was younger. I saw them at my first ever music festival. And it was that same festival that I saw Cypress Hill at,
Oh yes, I
and
think
Joe Strummer.
was that Reading one year? Was it
It was
V
V2000.
V 2000? Okay, I was there. Not you would have been down at the Chelmsford.
Chelmsford. Yeah.
I was in Staffordshire, so I saw the same lineup as you. I saw Cypress Hill and I saw
Cypress
Bloodhound Gang.
Hill, Joe Strummer and the
Did they
Mescaleros.
manage to get a young lad up on the stage and get him to get his willy out?
No.
They did that. They did that in Staffordshire. They were like, "Oh, go on, get
Oh,
your knob out," and he's like, "No," and he's like, "Go on, get your knob out. You on?" Because he put him up on stage, and then he got his knob out, and they went, "Ha ha ha!" And then he said, "Fuck off."
they tried to get like the whole front row of everyone to show their boobies,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
of the time.
Of the time,
But the
not
lineup was
it was
the
acceptable
headliner
in
was Weller and the Verve.
yeah.
Like it, that was like the first time that I'd ever seen. Like I just I left my mate because she was just fucking around. I was 15, I think I was. I don't even know if I was 16 yet. And I was like I lost her, and
Yeah,
we didn't have phones, like we had no way of contacting each other. So I just went off and watched all these amazing bands. I think I saw Faithless, I saw Joe
yeah.
Strummer and the Mescaleros.
Just
I
Drummer was
saw
still with us back then.
absolutely, yeah. I saw the Verve, Paul Weller, Cypress
Oh,
Hill. It was
okay.
amazing.
We've got an idea here, and it's asphyxie crap. That's how I want to go.
Oh
Tell
no,
everyone I was having an
Graham.
asphyxie crap.
No, I'm not bringing
Go
poo into
on, it'd be that
no.
funny. People will
I can
laugh.
I
You
can
go,
add something like
they'll make funny jokes.
I could just say that you chose a different form of assisted suicide. So instead of like indignitas, so like someone just dressed as, I don't know, Elvis booted
Yeah.
you out of a window. Like
Well, is Basildon? Where's Basildon? Is that in Kent? Is that in
that is
Essex?
very undignified.
Where's
Yeah.
Basildon?
Bas Vegas, it's like South Essex. You don't want to go there ever.
Essex. So our
Yeah.
other friend called Wayne from Essex, KUNT and the gang, apparently has a song called "Jesus Died of an Asphyxie Wank." And if we're not demonetized by now, I don't know what we're doing wrong.
AUNT and the gang.
Yes.
Oh, I did a thing with them. I love those guys. They're
Oh,
legends.
you
Like
did a remix, didn't you, about Boris Johnson as a
they
effing
asked me
C?
to write a bunch of stuff out, yeah, and do it, and then they somehow mixed it into a song. It was
I
actually in the
did. I listened
charts.
to that. Yep, you're in the charts.
So weird, man.
Oh,
But
great days.
no, they've got a load of really, really funny songs,
They are
actually.
very, very funny.
Very darkly funny.
Yes.
So I don't know, man. Like I'd feel more comfortable. Like I don't want to bring poo into it. I'd rather like dress you as something, like Marilyn Monroe, or like get some stockings on you, or
Just as
um.
Mr. Blobby.
You fell out
dressed,
of a window
dressed as a
dressed as
giant
Mr.
squid. Fell out the window dressed as a giant squid.
I'd rather you fell out of a window dressed as Mr. Blobby. That would be better. That would be
um,
hilarious.
Ivan Ambrose, thank you so much for the £20 super chat, mate. Yesterday, I left a group I had set up. Some friends had no empathy. One shared a anti-refuck link, but they took it too far. They mentioned psychiatric tests for refuck candidates and laughed. It's sensitive for me. I'm sorry, Ivan, to hear that. I'm sorry that it is a touchy subject for you. I completely understand why. I don't think there should be necessary psychological tests for refuck candidates. I think maybe they should be checked on the sex offenders register, because apparently half. Do you remember the stat came out about 2 in 5 of the rioters, I think it was last year in
At
Southport,
least,
have been done
yeah.
for domestic violence. Half of the people who have been, so 50% of the people who have been arrested in Northern Ireland after it all kicked off last month, half of them have prior convictions for domestic violence.
Well, a Garda, one of the
Protect the
Garda was
women.
just jailed for setting up his colleague on FetLife. It's really disturbing.
What's FetLife?
I'm not gonna go into it. It's like a fetish site.
Right.
But it was really like one of the worst cases that I've ever read in my life. I mean, he set up a situation where she and her kids could have been R-worded under the guise of CNC, consent, non-consent, kink. So
Fuck.
he arranged it. He pretended to be
So
her.
grim. And that was a copper that did that.
Copper, a Garda, remember the Garda, a white copper, his co-worker, someone that he worked with. So he took pictures of her and her children, said
Oh,
to this
Jesus.
guy, I want you to come to my house. All
Oh,
the consent is
Jesus.
priorly given. And this guy was like, something doesn't seem right here. The guy on FetLife. So he did his due diligence. He like found her on Facebook, was like, is this you? Like, are you sure? I need to kind of test outside the app whether or not this is right. And she was like, no, this is no.
Who
And then
was
the
she
guy,
to the copper? Was she not
a colleague,
a
a colleague,
colleague? This is
a
someone
colleague,
at work. Oh my God.
and her daughters, her young daughters. So, because he was like, once that part came in, he was like, nah, something seems wrong here because CNC is like quite common, but then it's not with that kind of stuff. It's usually like an established boundary you have with someone that you've known and you've built these kind of like rules with and there's trust with and
And
that.
there's a safe word.
And there's a safe word and there's limits and all that kind of stuff. And it doesn't mean that you just give your consent away and everything's fine. But this guy, something twigged in him that
Yeah.
this woman didn't really know, or it seemed something seemed off. And thankfully he did check because the guy gave her address to this guy. This guy gave the address to the man on FetLife, said, come here at this time. It's all given in advance. Do what you want, basically.
Jesus Christ.
He was
That's
jailed for
so grim.
7 years. That's it. 7 years. He'll be out in 3.5, probably. So, yeah, but are there riots about that? Are there riots about
No.
the thousands of
No.
DV and SA cases
No.
every single
No.
week?
No. Well,
No.
not unless the perpetrators of said crime are not white. Where were the riots over Russell Brand?
Oh no, it's fine if they're not white and they're playing for a football team they like, though. That's fine.
Where
Or
were
if
the
they're
riots over Jimmy Savile when it all came out?
exactly. It's just it's so
They
enraging to me as a woman as well to see like crimes and our collective trauma weaponized
they,
by these people who call us slags.
they had time to take his headstone away. Think about that for a moment, right? If that had come out against someone who was brown or someone who was black, do you reckon their headstone would have lasted 5 fucking minutes before someone went at it with a sledgehammer? I
No.
mean, there was a wooden statue of Jimmy Savile outside a sports centre in Glasgow, and that just got like removed. You know, just
Wouldn't. There was a perfect opportunity to set that on fire.
well,
Like,
exactly. That's what I thought. Anyway,
kind of
ratings
stuff.
grew. Yeah, but he was white, so was he really to blame? Ratings groomers, thank you very much for the rating rumors. Sorry, I read that wrong before as well. Rating rumors. It's really hard now because all the names, coming up on the chat. You used to have your name come up. Now it's just got your
Yeah.
handle. So it's just the at and then something. And some people have got names that go on for like 16 letters in a row. And I don't
Yes.
know where the gaps are in the
Yeah.
syllables or the words. Anyway, rating rumors. Thank you very much for the £2 super chat. Susie Dent, only one word for love, comedy drama. I'll have to check that out. And we've also got some jokes about milk, some jokes about Kay and the gang, Essex, Wayne. Ernie Burns, thank you very much, Ernie, for the £2 super chat. A wristed suicide, and sewer is spelt as in the sewer that you flush your toilet into. And then Yuri Infectinov, thank you very much for the £5 super chat. Don't wear stockings. I've seen what they do to bank robbers' faces. Very true. Very true.
They sausage you up a bit, don't they? Like you end
They
up
do.
looking like you're a sausage in a
Do you know what it
sock.
looks like? You remember in the 90s when they have video games and they just have like a polygon and then they'll stretch the face over the polygon?
Like GoldenEye.
Yeah, gold knife face. That's what they give you. And K8 Nimbus says, "Wow, that's dark." I don't know which bit you're talking about there, but it might have
Probably
been.
the Garda bit because like I mean that is one of the worst stories I've read in
It
a
is
while.
really, really grim,
And I've
especially as
seen,
it's a copper as well. Like, I mean, any other profession would be just as bad. Like if it was a teacher or accountant or something.
but they are.
Fucking copper.
This is the thing. They are. I mean, in Japan, they've just uncovered like 100,000 men on an R-word chat. After Pelico, 70,000 were found to be on there. You've got men asking for their sisters to have AI clothes removal on pictures, like on these what is it like AI porn sites.
Yeah.
You've got them asking like for their sisters to be unclothed and put like to make it look like they've got stuff on their
Oh
face and like
man.
I mean there is something very broken, like profoundly broken. Um and we have the means of like we've got the means of finding out this is happening,
Yeah.
but we've also got the means of them being able to kind of like assimilate and group up together
Yeah.
to be even worse. So it's, yeah, I mean, I honestly don't know what to do anymore. Like it's getting to the point where I'm just like, this is so bad, man. Like there's a guy in Germany that kind of like a woman, and he got off after a couple of years. It was like diminished responsibility for being mental. Like he claimed that he was mad. It gets worse. He's now on TikTok, right? Selling merch about the crime that he did, and he's got a legion of followers that are obsessed
Of
with
course
him.
he has.
And they wear his merch about, something about getting away with it or something. And he's like an edgelord guy. And even women, there's even women that kind of, and I'm just like, fucking hell. Like
So grim.
people just lost their minds. Like, everyone's just mental. Everyone's lost their minds. But I see so much of this because of yeah, I follow loads of feminist accounts. Quite a few LGBT accounts as well, which have a lot of really bad things
Well,
that happen in the
did you read
community.
about the Marks and Spencers thing?
Oh my God.
Like
Oh
me
my,
and Phil were talking about this. He didn't realise. He thought that like a trans woman had assaulted someone else. He didn't know what had happened. I'm like, no, literally a tall woman asked a mum, a turfy mum, and a daughter if they needed any help in a public area of M&S.
so feminist, isn't it? To be like, you've got to be like a little petite thing, otherwise you're not a real woman. And it's the classic kind of like fit this conventional mold of what a woman is.
Yeah,
Otherwise, you are going to be met with suspicion. And they don't see how problematic and fucked up that is. My cousin, she's Georgie. She's like easily 6 foot or more,
yeah.
like very tall woman. Like I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to do that with her. I mean, she's worked on the doors and stuff, and I'm not talking like the mild doors. I'm talking like the doors around Romford and Hornchurch. Like you've got to be made of strong stuff.
Sorry, there's a place called Hornchurch, as in I've got the horn. Let's go to church.
You've not heard of Hornchurch?
No,
It's like
that's
it's East London.
that's so fucked up.
It's where like a bunch of my family live around that way, like my East London family.
Oh my god!
My
Ah,
beautiful Summer Londoner.
oh, jelly deals! Ooh. I can't do me Monty Python voice when I start trying to do me London Cockney.
There's a
Uh,
place near me called Fingering Home
there is a place called Fingering Ham. There
and
is.
Wet Wang.
Wet Wang's up in Yorkshire. It's not.
I really want to go to Wet Wang.
That was the guy who, you remember the guy who used to present Countdown, Richard
Whiteley?
Whiteley. He was the mayor of Wet Wang,
What?
honorary mayor of Wet Wang, because it was his favourite name for a place.
Borders kept that quiet.
Yeah. Kirsty says, "Oh, I complained to M&S about them apologising to the transphobe. I asked them if they were apologising for trans customers. Yeah.
Wasn't even like a proper apology. It was like some fucking chatbot or something.
Well, it was like, oh, sorry, you didn't have a Vegas. But I mean, the fact that they apologised at all to a turf, complaining about absolutely innocent
It was AI, man.
situation.
I don't think it was even they even got through to a proper customer service rep. Like from what I read, it was like just a chat bot that they got through to. I don't know. I could be wrong. But that's from what I heard. That's what it was.
It's just so
Um,
like grim and unnecessary. Like there was no reason for all this trans hate, and it's just because 10 years ago, Rupert Murdoch and a couple of his billionaire mates were sitting around, smoking massive cigars, doing loads of cocaine, doing whatever rich people do. And they were like, "I'll tell you what, do a terrific wheeze, old chap. Rupert, come here. Why don't we go after the trans? Yeah. That'll show them. They can't fight back, can they? And what we'll do is we'll make out there's this kind of like trans mafia out there that'll jump on you if you say anything mean about trans people. And there'll be the trans agenda is going to come and get everyone. And
it's
it's
like
like,
the immigrant agenda.
what's the trans agenda? It's just to fucking live. It's just to be a person
Yeah,
and to
how
live your
dare they
life.
actually exist like they always fucking have. I
Yeah,
mean, like this is the thing, like these people are brainwashing you that your life is shit because of trans people or because of immigrants and giving you these scapegoats just so you won't turn on them as being the fucking cause of it all. And the people that buy it, like it's like, well done. You're like a medieval serf. Like bravo for having that much capacity. It's just so like it's their fault that you can't pay your rent. It's their fault that
yeah,
you are paying proportionately more tax than them. Like it's your fault. It's their fault that the planet is screwed beyond recognition. And they're giving you all these distractions to deflect from that
yeah,
constantly. Like
yeah,
one week it's trans people, the next week it's immigrants, the next week and then it goes from immigrants to like all brown people. Because now I was doing my notes yesterday, and for the first time since 1971, there is a precedent in mainstream politics for not just the removal of illegal immigrants, but all immigrants.
yes,
Like, there's actually like that's in the discourse now, and that is
yeah,
being normalized. And then what next? The death penalty. You know, we're regressing. We are
yeah,
being like massively regressed by these people.
yeah.
And I'm just
And
like, how fucking, oh, how can you buy it? How can you buy this?
because there's no one, the people who are in a position to offer an alternative are not stepping up. And I'm just so getting sick of like, like I watch American shows and I see Jon Stewart being very clever and I see John Oliver being very clever and I see Stephen Colbert being very clever and witty. And I'm like, actually, this isn't what we need right now. We don't need like a little pun, a little put down, little bon mot. We don't need that. What we need is someone on the left screaming in a charismatic way. We need to do something about this. This is bullshit. This is why. And tap into that whole thing. There's a whole conspiracy agenda. The Nazis have used conspiracies, the Russians use conspiracies to get the pogroms moving. Like so many times throughout history, they've all started with a conspiracy, right? So tap into that. We know it's a human condition to just believe bullshit. That sounds like plausible for some reason. Tap into that and go, would you like some secret knowledge? Would you like to know what's really going on? And then give people the facts. But we don't. We're just like, oh, we'll just make a joke about it. Ho ho ho. And we share all these little memes and things like that. And I do this myself. And it makes us laugh, but it's not changing the mind of anyone who's refuck or MAGA. They're just off on their own
Can
fucking
you?
planet.
I mean, this is the problem. These people are radicalized, and you can tell just by looking at it. Like you get a feel for how people are. And also it also makes me really angry that people are just so easily fucking swayed. They have that they can be bought by repetition or, someone being platformed a lot and then believing them or little buzzwords. Like it's really depressing that that's how people are won over, but they are. But like when you look at like the absolute con that was involved in something like the Rwanda plan, which was essentially just a way for them to try and bank on us getting out of the ECHR to lose more rights, £700 million.
Yeah.
down the shitter on that. And not just that, when you look at the Swizz with the Bibby Stockholm, the Langham family who owned that, right? Massive donors to UKIP. The sister of John Langham, the owner of that like docking bay, was made the reappointed to the Bank of England's Prudential Regulation Committee by Sunak.
Yeah.
Like they all fucking know each other. So they've created the conditions where everyone hates the migrants. The Langham family made over £2.5 million out of having that Bibby Stockholm there for 18 months. And the reason the Tories didn't process anyone and we ended up with the hotels is because they knew that those people would have a right to remain. So they delayed it and they put it off because whilst those people were there, they were easy to scapegoat. But like what you need to try and get through to people is like these people are the ones, these obvious like cartoon caricatures of con artists are the people that are conning you, and they just don't fucking buy it. Like they no, you're all wrong because I saw a meme on Facebook that's been put there by some, offshore foreign interference job to
Yeah.
radicalize you. No, I believe that instead of the obvious links that these people are the elites who are all in it together, who are laughing about this in places that you couldn't even afford the monthly like entry fee to in these clubs that they're in. And they're all on the same team, like the Tories,
Yeah.
the far right, they've all got the same donors.
Yeah.
They all know each other. Tommy Ten Names, funded by Morton Messerschmidt, who funded Trump. Messerschmidt, Danish National Party, I think. Racial. He was jailed or he was had a conviction for racial abuse. Good friends with Farage.
Yeah.
These, and it's every time that people get outraged, they all make loads of bank out of it. Who's not getting richer? The people that are getting banged up for being racist on the street because they've been incited by them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, fuck me.
So we've got some super chats come in. We got Rating Rumours. Thank you very much for the £5 super chat. The laws need to be strong for anything SA related and pursued without fear or favour. Vigilantes are not the answer, but are getting support. Believe the victims. That's it. Believe the victims. Swap it around. Because if you're going to say innocent until proven guilty, then that's got to be for the victims as well. And they're innocent of perjury until and wasting police time and making false accusations. They're innocent of those crimes until you can prove they're guilty of
Men are
them.
more likely to get R-worded by another man than be falsely accused.
Lost Missionary, thank you very much for the £2, says, Wayne needs a link, please, Graham, with an extra M. Yes, thanks for the super chat. I'm aware that Wayne is screaming us for a link, but this is set up for 2 people at the moment, and we were just going to leave it for the first hour, just me and Tan. But if you're not asked about having some more people, I can share the link a bit more widely. Tan, that's up to you. Do you want to keep it quiet or?
No, fuck it. I mean, I am ranty tonight. Like, I'm really exasperated. I mean, as long as I'm not, I don't know. It's up. Yeah, I'm up for it. I'm up for
Okay. All right. Well, I'll share the link with others.
I'm up for some new energy in the room if you fancy. I mean, I am just very much. I have been in like hyper focus for 2 days. Like, I've written pages and pages of notes on this. Because what I'm trying to get to the crux of is why and how it's all happening. So I can kind of get it across to people so that they can maybe, like, in the vain hope that they'll show it to their reform voting uncle. But he'll probably just go, oh, nice tits, love, and then just leave it at that because, it's all about protecting women.
Yeah.
Like, I can't count the amount of times this week that I've had, like, the most horrific misogynistic abuse from these people that claim to be all about protecting the women's. Because it's just a veil for their racism.
Yeah, absolutely it is. I mean, that's
Stamping on women again in order to, get away with something.
It's either that or someone think of the children. When someone think of the children, you're like, you don't. Anyway, storyteller because Tiller was taken. Thank you very much for the £2 super chat. It's a good point. Does comedy placate? I don't, because someone mentioned Aidan and Rick and Ben Elton back in the 80s. They were funny as fuck and they were very subversive. Did they get rid of Thatcher? No. Did they get rid of the Tory government? No. I mean,
but I think I will chip in on this as someone that tries and make jokes, even though I'm not very amusing tonight. But in my content, I try to make jokes.
You don't try to make jokes. You do make jokes, and you're funny as fuck.
Well, I don't try to, but I try to kind of like, well, when I say try to, it's like whilst feeling like Edvard Munch's The Scream, I try to kind of interject some hot, like comedy into it. But at the same time, that is the thing that is like, and it's not something that I've ever done intentionally, but I found that people like it. They like it when you take the piss. Like it's a British tradition. British people love piss takers. So if you roast someone a bit and then you slip in the facts, it helps the facts go down a bit easier, um, in my experience. But the thing is, on a flashy show like the what is it, the Today, or I can't remember what it's called, the Friday night,
It's
or
like
whatever it
the
is,
Daily Show, the Tonight Show, and Last Week Tonight, and
whatever
the
those
Tonight
things
Today
are,
Tonight Show. Yeah,
that's different.
the
It's very
generic name
polished.
show.
It's very polished. It's very bit-y. Like I
Yeah.
just don't pre-write jokes. I pre-write facts. So anything that kind of comes to me in the moment, I'll lob in there. But it's very, again, it's very male oriented as well. It's very kind of like man on stage, like the 50s. It's almost 50s style, like
Yeah.
the male lead, oh, what they fucking call presenter or whatever. Um,
Oh, hello. Wayne's turned up. I thought you were supposed to be working.
No, I've had a week off, mate.
Have you? Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
brilliant.
How's my audio, by the way? 'Cause I'm using Bluetooth headphones.
Pardon?
we can't hear you, Wayne.
What?
What?
Can you say the Leith Police dismiss us?
Nah.
Was that
Oh,
Welsh?
fucked. The Leith Police dismiss us. I think they used
Sounds
to
like Welsh.
get you to say that when you were drunk to see how drunk you were. And if you couldn't say it, you weren't allowed to
Uh,
drive a car or something in the 1950s before they had breath tests.
I'm on the juice, mate.
On the
Oh,
juice.
cool.
Yeah.
Is it very bright
Well,
in there? Is it very
What's that?
bright where you are, Wayne?
No, blue light filters, man.
You've got your old Stevie Wonders on.
No, 'cause I've got the red ones as well, but because I've been looking at screens a lot this week.
Are you just calling to say you love us?
Oh,
Oh, here we
so
go.
nice of you.
Here we
No
go.
one ever calls me just to say they love me.
Ten's been renting. Now she's got jokes.
Yes.
He's
Yeah.
just calling to say, he just called to say loved us. That's all.
Got Wayne in a good mood.
Is it-
Got
No,
Tanner's got
to
in a good mood because of Wayne.
be fair, I've just called in to get your orders when I go back to work next week.
Oh, okay. I'll have a strawberry daiquiri, please.
I'll have a vat of moo juice and a couple of little jars of orange juice. I loved it
Oh,
when
we started doing mocktails now.
So Damien in the chat saying, "Hey, it's Pat Mustard."
yeah, it's Pat Mustard. There's going to be some very hairy babies around where you live, Wayne.
Oh, they bloody ain't gonna be.
Darian, thank you so much for the 20 quid, mate. Really appreciate it. This is for the Buy Tansky a Cocktail Fund, so she can reward herself when she's worked out her notes. Tansky's always worth waiting for. So there you go, Tan. Next week, because next week I'll be coming down to Essex. I'll be doing it.
Trying to stay with me.
I'm coming to Dystopia.
Wow.
The dystopia that is Essex.
Have you had your jabs?
Well, I made a joke about going to hell earlier to Tan, and she said, "Oh, it's worse than that, Graham. You're coming down to Essex next week." And I went, "Oh, yeah."
Yeah, by the way, I was in chat when you started slagging off Basildon.
Baz Vegas.
Are
you coming to the gig, Wayne? Are you coming to the gig?
Mate, no, I'm skidding. I can't do anything at the minute. And plus, I'm working nights at the minute, so I can't do anything at
You're
the
a
night.
moo juice man.
I know, exactly. I'm just delivering hopes and prayers of the morning to people overnight.
Hopes and prayers of the morning and mocktails. No, it's Smashing Pumpkins are playing in my hometown, and
Are they really?
yeah, Smashing Pumpkins, Skunk and Nancy.
Yeah.
Oh man! All right, I'm gonna pull some strings. I'll see what I can sort out.
Right, okay. It is
Also, Busted are playing
Colchester.
there as well next week.
oh yeah, but let's not talk about
or Colchester, as I called it yesterday.
It is it's actually not on a weekend. It's on a what is it? It's on a Thursday
night.
Yeah,
Thursday
next
the 14th.
Thursday. Skunk and Nancy. I don't know if you've ever heard of White Lies. I've never heard of them myself.
Yeah, I know White Lies.
They're playing as well, yeah.
So we're going to try and do a morning brew, aren't we, Tan? With me, you, and
That's
Hannah
gonna be
and
fun.
Scott with terrible hangovers on
Yeah,
the Friday morning.
Scott's coming down and Hannah.
I was in.
Hannah is coming.
Now, I don't
awesome.
believe that Hannah's real because she's been coming on the show and stuff for the last couple of years, but I've never met her in real life,
I've
so I'm
met
not
her.
sure she's actually tangible.
I think I've only been on the show with her once, and that was when I was on the milk float, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've met her two times. One was when she came to her parents were lovely and they adopted the two strays out of my garden that I was looking after. They came and they picked them up and they're now settled with Hannah's mum and dad. And the other was my birthday when we got well too wasted. Like I had like an existential breakdown after that. But yeah, it was Hannah came and we I think Hannah and I were awake until 7 a.m.
Is of any of us that arsed about the pumpkins now? Because if this was 1996, I'd be like, fucking hell, I'm there, front row, right? But Billy Corgan's turned out to be a bit of a twat, hasn't he?
I'm not going for the pumpkins. I've never been a huge fan of them. I mean, what is it? Today is a great song.
Tonight.
Oh, there's Today is just one song of Siamese Dream, and then there's Tonight, which is off Melancholy. And
I mean, I know.
My favourite's 1979. I love 1979.
Yeah, what a song! And also the year I was born, so I'm gonna like that one.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a huge. I mean, for their legendary status, but I'll level with you. The only reason I'm going is to see Skunk Anansie because I've always wanted to, and I've never seen them.
Skin's voice is epic. It's just epic.
She follows me on Instagram. I'm going to drop her a little DM saying I'm in Colchester. Do you want to come round after for a fire pit?
I saw them supporting a band in the 1990s. In 1995, I saw them supporting a band, and you will never guess what band I saw them supporting.
Oh my God, busted.
Skunk Anansie.
Radiohead.
No. That would make sense. That would make more sense than the band that it was.
Placebo?
No.
95.
95. Not Coldplay.
Oh no, it's 96. Sorry, it was 96. It wasn't 95.
96.
Yeah.
Spice Girls.
No.
That was a good era. I mean, it was
another Britpop band, but it wasn't like Skunk Anansie.
Cast?
No, they were better than Cast. Although I think Cast played on that gig because we had Cast, Elastica, Supergrass, Skunk Anansie, but the main headliners were
TerraVision.
Pulp.
I said Pulp.
Yeah.
Oh.
Did you?
Yes.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Wayne. Rewind the tape.
Right off.
Sorry, I didn't notice you said
It's going to live online forever now. You've mugged me off like that.
Gonna live forever.
Exactly. You say, topical.
I'm sorry. I was wrong, and I accept responsibility. I've just put that come up on the screen there, Wayne.
Can I just
what?
Bring it back to sort of newsy stuff? Because I just want to get your takes.
No, we want to talk about music. I don't want to talk about the news. It's too depressing.
No, but it's a funny
great gigs we went to back in the day.
My favourite gig I went to of recent years was Royal Blood, because it only cost me like £17 to be on the rail at
so you're basing it on cost, purely on cost.
Yep. Purely on cost and proximity to the
I'm
band.
a thrifty gig goer, I'll have you know. Okay, let me have a think. I would say I have to say Blur was epic when we went to see Blur.
Wembley Stadium.
It was another level.
That was just too much.
It was incredible. I cried. Yeah, we got to meet the band after. That was pretty cool. Just hanging out with Dave and Alban.
Do you think that's Oasis when Hold My Beer for them coming back? Do you know what I mean? Because Blur had epic gigs.
No, it was the copyright.
Stadium.
It was the copyright on the songs. The licensing on the performance of the songs lapsed, and it went back to Noel Gallagher. So from 2025 onwards, he gets like 100%. He gets the songwriting royalties and the performance royalties for the songs.
Oh, so Liam couldn't get any monies?
Well, Liam will get whatever he gets, but like Noel gets, and he has said that he wants a fucking super yacht. He wants the biggest yacht in the world, and that's why they came back.
Such a money. What story? Boring
money.
Story.
Yeah. But I have to say, I've seen Oasis a few times live, and they have always put on a good show.
I reckon they would be a lot of fun to see live. I mean, I've always I've rinsed the living shit out of them in recent weeks, but like Morning Glory always takes me back to being like drinking underage at house parties, having a fucking amazing time. What are your best gigs of all time?
Oh wow.
I know mine.
Radiohead at the Blackpool Empress Ballroom on the 7th of September 1997. That was
Also
something
My
else.
one's gonna,
Radiohead. Also
my one's gonna
Radiohead.
be gone.
Victoria Park in Rainbows tour. Incredible.
Mine's gonna be really boring. And Tan, you're gonna rinse me on cost again because
Fuck.
it was Muse's homecoming gig in Teignmouth, and I won tickets on Radio One.
Did
Oh,
you?
fantastic. That's the way
With
to
Joe
do it.
Stunning. That's
Wiley.
well cool though. Like,
That's very cool.
did you get special perks with it?
Yeah, we got to drink in Teignmouth for 24 hours.
You
That
had
was
to.
yeah, because my mate's a stickler for getting to gigs early. We got there as a car park was opening, and we stayed in this pub, and this pub just played Muse all their albums the entire day, and we just stayed there playing pool and was absolutely hammered
Well,
by the
they
time we
knew
got
their
to the gig.
market. I thought you were saying that that was a condition of you winning, that you had to drink
No,
for 24 hours.
no, it was purely because my mate, because he had to nominate something to go with you, and he was like, "Right, if we're going, I'm driving," and yeah, that was basically it.
I've never
And
won
we listened,
anything
we
cool
listened to
like
the
that.
most obscene LBC callers on the way back. Like late night LBC callers are the best.
Well, I bet they
They're
were
all
back then. Like, when was this?
2009.
Oh wow, yeah. I think Vicky Park for me was 2012.
Yeah.
I think no. It wasn't 2012. It was 20. God, when did In Rainbows come out? It must have been
2001, I think.
Yeah.
No. In
No,
Rainbows,
it's later than that.
Was it? Was that
2009.
Kid A and Insomniac?
Yeah, yeah, because
2009 was In Rainbows.
it was when Matt
Was it
Smith
that
was Doctor
late?
Who. So I remember him. I
2007.
remember him mentioning
Sorry.
weird fishes going into
Yeah,
battle with the
I've just
Daleks.
looked it up. It was the 10th of October, 1997. Sorry,
Yeah, sorry,
2007.
2007.
But yeah,
God.
Radiohead were just. I mean, Radiohead playing at Glastonbury in '97 as well. Actually, I
love
went to see
seeing that.
Radiohead the year before because they did the warm up gig for Tea in the Park. They did it in Manchester at the Apollo, and that was a few months before. Well, it was a year before. What's it called? OK Computer came out, and they'd just done the War Child album where they contributed one track. Like Oasis were on there, Blair was on there, and everyone. Sinead O'Connor. And Lucky was on that, so we knew Lucky, but they played a bunch of songs off OK Computer that no one had heard before. We were like some of the first people to ever hear those songs live,
nice.
and one of them was No Surprises, which is played on a glockenspiel, I think, on the actual album, but on the when we saw them, it was just acoustic guitar. It was it just blew me away. I was like, oh my god!
I did see a band that were mentioned here just a little while ago from Maya Manor. My favourite word in the gang at the Castlemaine pub down by me.
I've seen Kay and the Gang a few times actually.
My favourite word in the gang.
I've got the first two albums signed by Kay, and I've got the when they had the royal wedding. He did a special celebrity version of a wedding version of, I think it was Fuck Sticks. And I've got that. I've got the vinyl signed. I just draw a little knob on it.
They're so funny, man. I remember chatting to I can't say his real name. He told me never to reveal his real name, but the singer. I was chatting to him about when we were doing our little kind of collab thing, and he is a really sound guy, like really cool, like really decent. Because
I accidentally know his real name. And
I
cannot mention why.
It's the same as yours.
No, it's not.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
But
wow.
Misinformation.
Fake news.
Fake news.
The worst band, like, and it surprises me that they were the worst live act. It wasn't like at an individual gig, but I'd say the worst person I ever saw live was at, I think it was at V9 2007. No, V2000 and something. It was the Coral, and I loved the Coral. Like I really.
I think that might have been V2008 because I was there.
I liked their first and their second album. It was a bit rainy. It was a bit glum, and they
Was it
play.
the same year as King de Leon on the Sunday?
No, I don't think so. No, it
Oh, it
was
might
the
have been
same
the
year
year
Foo
after then.
Fighters headlined on the yeahs were there. It was really good, but the choral were just terrible. Terrible. And I loved their first and their second albums. Like I really enjoyed them as albums. I liked them as a group. And they were just duffel coats on, head down, like not into it, just knocking it
Yeah.
out, you know.
That's what Kings of Leon were like at that V festival. They were just, no crowd interaction, nothing. Just got on, played the song,
And
buggered
that
off.
was their good era because
Yeah,
the first two albums by Kings of Leon were fucking excellent albums.
yeah.
Like really good.
And then Sex on Fire came along, and everyone knew them before they
Oh.
were famous and all that. And then it just
Then they
went.
started going all killersy. But like they were really I remember hearing their first two albums when it came out, and I was like, this is wicked. Like, who are these hippies?
Yeah, the bucket is just a great song.
You hit the bucket and I swing my leg.
One of the best gigs I ever went to was Smashing Pumpkins in 1996.
Really?
What was then the 9X, and it's now it was then the MEM.
That'd have
Prepare for
been
disappointments next week then.
Melancholy and Infinite Sadness album.
And one of the worst gigs I ever went to, I think it was 98 at Glastonbury, was the Smashing Pumpkins. They were just absolutely awful.
Really?
Yeah, they were absolutely dreadful. Wayne, do you know the Pumpkins quite well?
Yeah.
So let me just go Smashing Pumpkins set list, Glastonbury. This is just unbelievable. So like they played Glastonbury, right? So it's a festival gig. So you just play the favourites, don't you? You play the greatest hits.
Yeah.
Sorry, it was 97. It was 97. It wasn't 98, right?
Yeah, so it would have been Melancholy era.
Yeah. So they've been touring for like a year solid, and they just couldn't be arsed. They were obviously like pissed with each other, and they were just like they'd just been on The Simpsons, I think. And so number one, Glimpses, which is a Yardbirds cover. What? Then Where Boys Fear to Tread. Then okay. Then they did Tonight Tonight. And then they did a song called Transformer, which I don't even remember. I don't remember
that at all.
They played XYU. They played The Aeroplane Flies High. They played Through the Eyes of Ruby. It was just like, what the fuck? They played The End is the Beginning of the End from Batman and Robin. And it was just like, why are you playing a load of B-sides?
Yeah.
What is even happening here? They literally finished like the last song we all expected them to play today. And everyone's going to be, today is the greatest. And they played The Aeroplane Flies High. Turns left, looks right. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Do you remember when Gorillaz headlined Glastonbury? I think they were stepping in for someone.
Who did?
Gorillaz.
No, I never saw them at Glasgow.
And they played like all sort of like avant-garde experimental new songs, and no one knew any of them. Like, I remember watching it going, I don't know this song.
People were just waiting for that.
Yeah, just exactly. Just waiting for some feel-good ink. But no, not today, bruv. It's just Damon Albarn going through having a Tom York moment.
I'd have liked it if they'd pulled out a bit of Bill Murray, though. I fucking love that song. Down.
I tell you who were a bit shit when I saw them live. The Red Hot Chili Peppers back at V or something, B 2003.
Really?
They were shite live.
I mean,
but then I saw them again in Manchester a few years ago, and they were pretty good.
I mean, they're known for putting on a show. Foo Fighters were actually really good.
Yeah, the Foo Fighters are always fun.
But it's just because Dave Grohl, despite being a gobshite, is actually proper funny, and he really is great. So he treats it almost like a stand-up set.
Yeah.
But my enduring memory at V of seeing the Foo Fighters live was being so desperate for a pee that I nearly wet myself. At one point, me and my friend discussed whether or not we should just piss ourselves because we were like right in the middle of a crowd.
That's the worst thing at a gig, isn't it?
It's terrible if you're a woman, obviously, because you can't just like whop it out and piss on the back of someone's leg. Obviously.
You don't piss on the back of someone's leg. You put it into a pint cup.
You do it in a cup and then chuck it.
Do it into a pint cup.
At Stevie Wonder, I saw a guy, like Stevie Wonder was epic. The way that he came out, I've regaled people with it before. He looked like Homer in a muumuu. Like he had cornrows, he had these glasses on, and he was wearing a muumuu, a full muumuu, and he was playing a keytar.
Wow.
He was playing a fucking guitar, like walking on the stage like that, and it was just like, wow.
Yeah.
But there was a guy in front of us who had obviously got way too wasted because it was like an entire afternoon thing. Like fucking Jamiroquai, who I can't stand, played, and like a bunch of like these really random acts, and it just went on and on and on. And this guy in front of us had got too drunk and had pissed himself.
Oh no.
And was just scrambling around during Stevie's set, and I was just like, this is just not fair on Stevie. Like, if he knew this was happening, he'd be very disappointed in you.
Jesus.
Like,
I was disappointed in my mate Ryan at V2009 because he did something pretty similar, and he did because I've got VIP wristbands for me and him, and I was going to the cash bar because it was right next to the stage, so we was pretty much at the front the entire time. And because we was going to the cash bar, well, I was going to the cash bar constantly. He got so hammered, and he did the inner cup and just chucked it behind him. I was like, "What are you doing?" He's like, I'm having a good time." I was like, "Bro,
yeah, but that person
just
just got
your
your piss in their face, are they?
Jesus.
You arsehole. Stevie was awesome though. Like I would highly. I mean, I don't know if you're going to get an opportunity to. Do you know who else was really unexpectedly good? Well, it was Glastonbury.
Rolf Harris.
No.
Thank God.
Tom Jones. I fucking love.
Oh yeah. He knows how to put on a show.
Twice I've seen Tom Jones. And I would say seeing the specials before Terry Hall died. Well, it was like pretty much the original lineup.
Specials are amazing. I saw them at Festival.
I saw them at Glastonbury and Brixton.
Yeah. What's chat saying about their best gigs?
We've got
chat's too far away from me.
We've got some love for the Blue Tones. I remember the Blue Tones. Went to see the Blue Tones.
Wow. I don't even remember Slight Return.
Fatboy Slim, Super Furry Animals. I've got my Super Furry Animals Access All Areas pass signed by Griff, which is spelled Griff.
Fatboy Slim is always great. He always puts on a really good show.
He does indeed. Green Day are good. Oh, they were fucking fantastic. I saw them in 1995 in Manchester.
Did you see that little gig that they did in that bar in Covent Garden? Recently?
Yeah, that was phenomenal.
Awesome.
That was so good. Was that in front of you? Was that where they just got on the stage?
No, it was Covent Garden. It was in Covent Garden.
Yeah, but they just thought it wasn't like advertised or nothing, was it? It was just they got on stage and started playing, and it was like and everyone's saying to each other, "Is that Green Day? Is that Green? It's Billy from Green Day."
Who was really good? I saw Jurassic 5 and Ugly Duckling as support, which was fucking one of the best hip hop gigs I've ever been to ever. One of the very few hip hop, well, apart from seeing Cypress Hill, who were awesome. I got to do that with Be Real. It was so cool. I was only 15.
So I'm just gonna show on the screen. I've sent it to you guys on the chat, so you can just have a look on the chat for it. But this is some of my tickets from my gigs that I've been to over the years, and I'll show everyone on the chat. So I like trying to think of like my favorite gig. I get overloaded. It's like asking me what my favorite country is. There's just too many of them, and there's too many things that have happened. And honestly, my brain's I'm not smart enough to be able to take it all in. Oh shit, I put the wrong picture. I've put up a picture instead of Elton John limited edition Marmite. Okay, that wasn't supposed to be there. All right, let's try that again. God, good job. That wasn't something worse.
Limited edition Marmite.
Yeah.
Well, is this available now?
Yeah.
Where?
Elton John limited edition Marmite.
Where do I get this?
There's some of my tickets, and this obviously isn't all of my tickets, but this is some of them.
Where is this in the group chat?
I've just sent it in the group chat to you guys.
Hang on, I don't get my other phone.
Oh, get your other phone.
It's
Go
not
on,
that
get it.
Interesting, Wayne. It's
not. It's just me showing off.
It's basically what you're looking at is like ADHD in ticket form.
Yeah. So let's see: The Verve, Motorhead, Badly Drawn Boy, Radiohead, Elastica, Kaniki, Jesus,
wall of ADHD
Oasis, REM, Editors, Dandy Warhols,
Manics were
Flaming Lips.
Editors was surprisingly good. They were supporting music at Old Trafford.
They were really good. Editors.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Editors. I remember Editors. I never liked them.
Goldie Looking Chain. There's a ticket there that says 24-hour party people in the middle of the screen, and that's actually signed by Steve Coogan. That was from the filming of it. Pulp is in there. Moby, Foo Fighters. You can see on the edge. Marilyn Manson. Don't talk about that anymore. There's a signed Suede ticket near the top. There's a signed Manic Street Preachers ticket in the middle.
Yeah,
Wow.
but Marilyn Manson,
Bloodhound Gang,
Placebo was on, like, you've got Placebo just above that, which
Nick
is,
Cave, and the Bad Seeds.
Okay.
you know what?
Oh,
I
there's a
don't
Morrissey
really.
one there. That's not very cool, is it?
Oh,
No.
There's a VIP, and it doesn't say what band it is, but it was the Manics in Brixton. It doesn't say the name of the band. That's really annoying. And then there's banners for like the Roskilde Festival, Number 6 Festival, Glastonbury's V2004 is in there. Yeah, Pulp, the Manchester Apollo. I can see that at the bottom.
Gomez.
The audience. Who was the lead singer
Gomez.
of
You've got like
Gomez?
you've got bottom, yeah, like bottom. Who's Gomez? I've never heard of him.
Who are they? Who are they? Can anyone tell me who the lead singer of the audience was? There you go. That's a pop trivia question for you.
No.
Mother.
Lead singer of the band The Audience. Okay, see if anyone knows in the chat. Please don't cheat. Please don't look it up. But yeah, who was the lead singer of the band The Audience? Right, get rid of that. Blue Tones tickets, thumbs up. I saw the Pixies reunion gig at the V Festival.
Oh,
I was there. I was there at the V Festival.
I'd love to see Pixies.
I was really drunk though. The Scissor Sisters got me really drunk. Well, Animatronic from the Scissor Sisters got me really drunk.
Animatronic was one of my first ever, literally one of my first ever if not my first ever celebrity follower. Before I even did anything politics related,
wow.
She just followed me on Twitter.
That's very cool.
I was like, this is the coolest thing ever.
I love her.
Yeah, she's obviously sound.
She is. She's absolutely sound. So Pixies reunion, they were support. They weren't the final band. The Strokes were on after them.
Final boss.
Yeah, the final boss. Is garbage there? Yeah, there is a garbage. There's a couple of garbage tickets, but it's actually in fact, if I'm trying to be very clever now, this isn't going to work now, and I'm just going to look like a twat. But if
just gonna
now. Okay, if you look. Shit, you can't read this. It's too difficult. If you can find Badly Drawn Boy and Motorhead in the top left corner of the screen,
I saw them.
Above that is a ticket for garbage at the Labatt's Apollo, and it's really hard to read, but that is a ticket for garbage, I think.
Shirley Manson, wasn't it?
Yeah. I saw an interview with her the other day, and they were talking about, and I didn't know this, but their third album, do you know what day it came out?
I think like 2009, wasn't it?
No, it came out in 2001. So what particular day would be a bad day for your album to come out?
No, not 9/11. Not the
9/11.
Not the 11th
yeah.
September.
The 11th September.
Wasn't a debut single "Why Don't You Like Me" or something like that?
No, it's Only Happy When It Rains, Stupid Girl, Queer.
Oh, that was much earlier than that.
Yeah.
Didn't they came back and I thought, why don't you?
The second album was called Push It. Sorry, the first single off the second album was called Push It. I don't know about the third album because it just got swamped by September the 11th happening.
Do you know what else did? Which was a real travesty. Obviously not as much of a travesty as September the 11th.
Yeah. Wow.
There's a real travesty here.
Jesus. Ranking travesties with Super Tansky.
Real travesty.
The real victims here.
Who was the real victim in this? And I would say the real victim was Armando Iannucci, because he decided to bring out the Armando Iannucci show, which is so fucking underrated. It's so funny. You can find it all on YouTube. He decided to release that just before 9/11 happened, and people weren't really up for like irreverent kind of like dry humor, kind of quite satirical humor around that time. So the Armando Iannucci show, which I think should have been quite mainstream, just fucking flopped in that era. But yeah, that's obviously the real tragedy about it.
You know what was shocking about 9/11? Well, it was a shocking day, but I mean, the fact that no one was telling jokes about it, even in Liverpool, that's how shell-shocked people were. Because when Princess Diana died, it was just joke city. Do you know what I mean? It was like everyone's
really
about
was.
it. But like this was like, no, we're going to take this seriously, which was surprising.
I saw it happen live on telly. I watched it happen.
No, you didn't. It was all fake. It was all holograms, and the people are still alive and being kept alive.
I just got back
to tanks in Area 51. I read it on the internet.
I know you're someone that is doing this purely for satire because you have no time for conspiracy. But I'd just got back from working a summer season. All my mates and I'd gone down to Cornwall, and I'd stayed for the summer and worked in this like weird fucking hotel. I'm going to write a book about that hotel, run by these two mad Northerners. And I just got back and I'd slept for ages because I'd done like a kind of like overnight coach back from Newquay. And I was like just shuffling downstairs from my pit. And me and my mum were watching, like, I think it was like, because it was around two-ish, wasn't it?
It was 10 to 1 because I was watching Neighbours.
Yeah, 1 or 2-ish. And we were watching like the news or whatever, and then just like it switched to the news, to like a different news. Like all the channels switched to the news, so you had to watch it. It was like, what the fuck? We have to watch this. And the first one had already hit by the time the news came on. Like everyone was like, oh, a plane has hit a tower in New York or whatever.
Yeah.
No, nothing could prepare you for the second one hitting.
That was it.
Point, me and my mum both were like, what the? We leapt away from like the fucking chair because it was like watching like an action film in real life.
Yeah. So all the speculation on the news was like, oh, this is a tragic accident. And then the second one comes in and then they go, oh.
Whoa. Like the way that like, honestly, like I don't think I've ever, the only thing that's ever made me leap away from the screen like that was many years later when I was watching The Ring. And I didn't know what was going on, and I'd actually accidentally turned The Ring on. It was like I'd turned over on my telly at night, and I think I
love how your mind works.
I was like a young stoner, so I was just turning over the channels, and I was younger, and then all of a sudden I'm just watching this program. I'm like, not much is happening, and then a woman starts coming out the telly. You know, it was like that. Like I was like recoiling, like physically recoiling. It was horrible.
Do you remember there was an old horror film called Demons, and that was the first time they kind of did the thing with like creatures coming out of the telly. I think I watched it when I was about 7, and it freaked me out.
That fucked you up. That explains everything.
It really does.
I got to give kudos to the Chibs. I don't know if anyone got it before the Chibs, but yeah, Sophie Alex Baxter. She was the lead singer of The Audience. Murder on the Dance Floor. I saw her at Glastonbury a couple of years ago, and she was really, really good. Really entertaining. Someone said Robbie Williams was really good. I saw him at Glastonbury. He was really good as well.
I love Robbie. I
saw Craig David at Glastonbury, and he was boss.
So my mate played at Emirates Stadium as an Arsenal fan with Robbie Williams. I was made up for it.
Robbie Williams is.
He didn't say anything about it, and next thing you know, it was all over the internet. 5 have come out on stage with Robbie Williams.
Oh yeah. I mean, he's a sound guy. I watched his documentary and it gave me a real insight into him. He's ADHD as fuck, but he's really kind of like self-reflective and accountable and just a generally decent fella. And do you know what? The stuff that he did with Guy Chambers was brilliant songwriting. Like his early stuff that he did, he should never, ever have got rid of Guy Chambers.
Yeah, but he upset Guy Chambers because Guy Chambers wrote Angels after a friend of his who died. And then Robbie Williams was interviewed about it. And he'd done that whole change a word, take a third thing, you know, where you just change one word to the lyrics and you take some of the songwriting royalties. And he said that he had written about a woman or something that he knew. And Guy Chambers, I think, got really upset about it. That's what I heard on Pop Bitch. I don't know if that's actually true.
I don't know if this is an urban rumour or not, but I've heard it from good authority that the good old Simon Cowell used to go into sessions and just play the triangle to get a performer's note.
Yeah,
on a song.
Yeah, you could do that. You could literally go ting on a triangle at the end of a track, and you will get a percentage of the performers, the session performers fee. Yeah, which was a percentage of the overall. So if you were the only session musician, you will get a big chunk. If you were part of an orchestra, you get fuck all. But if you were like the only one session musician on that track, you'll get extra royalties. And if you change the word of the lyrics, you'll get some songwriting songwriting royalties as well.
Well, the documentary shows like between the two of them two, like it showed that it was very collaborative for the most part, like because the documentary had all of their kind of behind the scenes handheld footage. And if he did say that in his, like, if I was going to give him any leeway, it'd probably be the fact that he was cunted for about 10 years. Sorry. He was, yeah.
We've just been demonetised, everyone. You want to drop a super chat in to rescue us?
It weren't me.
It weren't Wayne for a change. I think I dropped the C-bomb earlier.
I said it as a doing word. Like, he did, you know.
It won't get picked up. It won't get picked up. That's too That's like ultra high frequency swearing. You'll get away with it.
Yeah, it's
I,
a
I
combination.
think we did enough background noise to
Yeah.
cut it out as well.
Chris C is saying it's the only time NATO activated Article 50. And someone was saying they watched it in the office. I saw it come through on
In
the
an office
BBC
would be
website in the office. I was working for the Health and Safety Executive in Liverpool at the time. And I had some hours that I could take off because it was on flexi time. And I went, I'm going home. And they were like, why? I'm like, this is like the fucking Titanic going down with Princess Diana on it. I'm going home. I'm going to watch this on TV. But, and I remember this well, I was working up in Bootle in Liverpool, which is north of Liverpool. And I had to go to the city centre, park in the city centre, and return some videos, some World Cinema videos that I'd taken out, Tan.
Right, Grandad.
World Cinema.
Yeah,
all right,
I had to take back. Otherwise,
videos.
I would have got a £5 fine. And I'm there, and I'm like trying to take these. I'm like, oh, can I return these? And the woman's there, like she's like, on the computer, like looking at, pressing the refresh button on the BBC website. And I'm like, okay, you got these? Okay, can I go? And then jumped in the car, drove home, and just watched it from home.
By World Cinema, he means Big Knobs 5.
He got them from Holland.
Yeah,
he got them from a Dutchman.
You're a Dutchman.
Yeah, dirty Mac.
Smoking a pancake.
Paul McCartney was recorded eating celery in the Super Fairy Animals song "Receptacle for the Respectable." Cool. That's very, very cool.
Have you heard that story about the heroes with the phone ringing at the end?
That was actually the phone ringing in the studio, wasn't it?
It was actually the phone ringing, but it was a line that none of them...
It's not Heroes, it's Life on Mars.
Sorry, yes. Fuck. Got my Bowie wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was the end of Life on Mars, and it was like a phone that nobody knew the number to. Who was calling. But to this day, that person doesn't even know that they featured on the end of a Bowie. That's fucking
amazing.
cool, isn't it?
I was watching something about how they recorded Heroes, and they had it so each time that he sang the chorus, he would take a step back from the microphone. So at the end, he was like on the other side of the recording studio, like shouting across the room. And that's why it sounds so echoey and distant. And like, honestly, the stuff he put together in like the Low album and Heroes and stuff in the late 70s, just phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
Like 10cc, they got the girl that worked in the young woman that worked in the office do the Big Boys Don't Cry voiceover. She's just a random like admin assistant in the office. That's such a cool song though, 10cc. I'm Not in Love. It's like there's no drums on it. It's all synth. It's like it's just this really weird, ethereal, weird song. It's just all like, what is it? Synths.
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah.
Indeed. Chrissy's saying America was truly caught with their trousers around their ankles on 9/11. I think it's going to happen again. I hate to make a prediction like this, but I think something worse than 9/11 is in the pipeline already. The CIA probably know about it. I'm not saying they're going to do it. I don't think it'll be a false flag attack, but they won't stop it. And they'll use that as a pretext for mobilizing the ICE force to really become the Gestapo and go after anyone they don't like the look of. They're calling for Democrats to be arrested for not turning up to sessions of their legislature in fucking Texas. It's going this way. I'm telling you now, there's going to be a big fucking event, whatever it is. It might be a natural disaster, might be a terrorist attack. Trump is
I'm going to distance myself from Graham's comments because I don't want to be disappeared as the only brown person on this panel.
No, we'll be all right. We're an ocean away. We're an ocean away at the moment.
Oh, you think that's going to stop them?
I don't think it's only
Americans aren't great with maps.
I don't think it's I don't think it's only going to happen in America. Like, this is the thing. After having been, sadly, going down rabbit holes for the last couple of months on kind of like the far right radicalization and the way that
you know, fun, didn't you?
Well, I'm a laugh a minute, me. But no, it's not just the the fact that the far right are mobilizing, but it's the fact that the kind of counter to that, they create each other in this infinite fuck loop where the more far right extremists you get, the more you get on the other side countering, and then so on, and it breeds kind of isolation, which is a fertile breeding ground for radicalization. So we're going to have, I reckon, something that kind of like mirrors, if not worse than 7/7. I think we're going to have something like that, and it could be multiple cities or something like that. And in America, I agree with you. I think there's going to be, and you know, the CIA were like, according to Chris Morris, when he was writing Four Lions and what came after it, he was talking about how they're like the biggest recruiters of terrorists, essentially, and how they just do not intervene, and they just let it happen. And it's not so much a black flag or a false flag event. It's more the fact that they just don't do anything. And this is the problem that we're seeing with right-wing extremism, because the Tories put a Islamophobe in charge of Prevent, a rabid Islamophobe, and they have solely focused on Islamic extremism because they see that as the only type, whereas the fastest growing in Britain is far-right extremism. And as we've seen in other countries, they don't shy away from terror attacks either. Like, what was that fella that Andrea Breivik?
Anders Behring Breivik.
I prefer if we didn't know his name, to be honest with you, because he did it to become famous, didn't he?
Did he?
Did you do that? The guy who murdered all the children in
the Labour, it was the Labour camp, wasn't it? Not the Labour camp. It was a Labour
camp. Not a Labour camp.
It was a political camp.
It was a Labour summer camp.
Yeah.
But the problem that we've got is like the guys that were at the Epping protest weren't just all concerned locals. We had Callum Barker, who is a literal fascist of the Homeland Party, who has been pictured with like copies of terrorist manifestos. I think it was like the Unabomber. And you've got like the White Vanguard, Patriots of Britain, Britain First, Great British Guardians, all these stupid names. They've been in Epping for years and years and years, and they have been mobilising, and they are turning up at all of the sites of tension and capitalising on it and trying to push their great replacement theory bullshit there.
Yeah. I've been seeing a lot of that, but do you know what? I've been seeing a lot more of it from people that I actually know, and just sharing silly little posts, and I'm like, oh, come on, mate.
This is how this is online radicalization. I mean, people laugh, but I'm telling you, people are being radicalized at like alarming rates right now. Like people that you would not expect to be radicalized because they don't fucking fact check.
Yeah. I mean, it's so amateur. It's so this is what frustrates me more than anything else in life is the people in the CIA and MI6 and the government and GCHQ. They're all fucking amateurs. They can't get anything right. Do you remember when it all went tits up during COVID because they were using Excel to keep all the database on a fucking spreadsheet, and it was an old version of it from like 1997. And so, like, it could only get like 56,000 lines until they ran out of lines. So loads of people got the data deleted.
I honestly think that, it's wrong to apply to incompetence, what is malice. I turn it the other way around because, honestly, a lot of the time, I think that their kind of like contempt and disregard for the little people is just so fucking obvious that they don't like. I don't think that it is just incompetence. I think it is just like, there's a few thousand less, hungry mouths on the welfare.
I'll give you a great example of incompetence from someone who you definitely know better. I don't know if you are across this story, but what
James O'Brien,
Chris Cuomo.
Oh, he's a gobshite.
Did you see what he did though?
He's teamed up with Trump or something now, hasn't he? Because he lost.
No. That's his brother. But Chris Cuomo.
Anthony Cuomo. Okay.
Yeah. Chris Cuomo shared a tweet that he got from someone else, and it was AOC on the House floor saying all sorts of stuff about this whole gene scandal that they've got going on in America. and she's saying, "Oh, look at this Aryan beauty shaking her boobs and all this."
And it was all
He
fake.
shared it. It said at the top, generated with AI. This is complete deep fake. He shared it.
Yeah,
She called him out
posted.
instantly, and then he's then deleted it and then put underneath, I'm sorry, sort of whatever. But then he had to address it on his show. Said, "Yeah, I got
What's
it
his
wrong."
show? Is he a podcaster?
No, he's on one of these backwards sort of right wing sites in America now. It's not a site; it's actually cable news, but it's one of the smaller ones. And he basically said he got it wrong. I should have done my due diligence and all that, and then went on to attack her. It was the ultimate. I'm sorry, but.
Well, there was a Labour MP who wrote that this week, wasn't there? I'm sorry you were offended by the fact I'm a landlord and stealing all this money off people. Could I just draw everyone's attention to Phil Nelson's comment a little earlier? They were warned the lone gunman did the show 6 months before it happened, leading to suggestions they planted the idea. So do you know the story behind this, the lone gunman?
No.
So do you remember the X-Files in the 90s?
Yes.
So the creators of the X-Files, Chris Carter and Vince Gilligan, who would go on to make Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, they had a spin-off show called The Lone Gunman, who were three kooks who used to help Mulder and Scully back in the day, mates of Mulder, and they were like, you know, subversive little
I remember them. Yeah,
They had a spin-off series. It only went for one season, right? And in the pilot episode, they were out to get this computer chip, right? And in the actual TV show, the villainous group, they knew that they were on board this particular flight, and they remotely took over the plane's controls and headed it straight towards the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center. I shit you not. It was broadcast 6 months before it happened. And they managed to wrestle the plane back just in the nick of time. But they're able to manually override the hijackers. But they hijacked the controls of the plane and try and fly it into the World Trade Center. And some have speculated whether that gave the hijackers the idea of what they did. But I think things have been set in motion before then. I think we've lost Tan. Yeah. Tan, come back. I was only joking.
I'm just doing my Duolingo before I lose my streak. So doing my French.
We'll just rabbit on.
I'm on like a 20-something odd day streak of learning French, and I'm on to using the infinitive. So I've just got to quickly complete my
Wait, have you seen Superman yet, Wayne?
Yes.
What do you think?
I think it's a great movie if you're a kid, but it's not.
Oh, I like it because I'm a kid.
I do like it, but I'm a Marvel man, so I'm always gonna be a little bit biased.
Yeah, so am I.
I thought Mr. Terrific stole the show.
Yes, he was terrific, quite literally.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, look, it was a Marvel take on DC. They're trying to reboot the whole thing because being gloomy and miserable works for a solo Batman movie. It really doesn't work for the whole costume crusader thing. It's far too camp. It's far too silly.
It worked for The Dark Knight, and it worked for Tim Burton's original '89 Batman. But then all the Tim Burton ones subsequent, they just became ridiculous. The Dark Knight was the best Batman film of all time, and I'll fight anyone who wants to argue with me.
I'll argue with you. The best Batman film of all time was the Batman movie from 1966.
Oh no,
it's fucking brilliant.
I will chip in with Batman, Jack Nicholson as Joker.
Right. So that was the best. That was the best. It was the best one of Tim Burton's movies.
All right. So Wayne, have you seen Dark Knight Rises?
Yeah.
So what happens at the end of that? Spoilers.
I turned it off.
Okay.
I couldn't stand Bane's voice.
Right, there's a nuclear bomb that's being transported for some reason around Manhattan, or Gotham City as they call it. And Batman turns up in his flying bat machine, and he picks up the bomb and he takes it out to sea and he drops it in the ocean. That's exactly the same ending as the 1966 Batman with Thingy West.
Yes, it is. Adam West.
Where he's running around on the pier with a bomb, with a comedy bomb, with the burning Hughes,
'Cause that
and
was
he
the one
keeps
with
trying
the
to
really-
throw it, and there's like a load of orphans, and he goes and there's some puppies, and then there's some nuns, and he's trying to get rid of this fucking thing.
So I remember the end of it because he had that really cartoon like helicopter, didn't he?
Yeah.
It was like one of them framework helicopters. It was
Sorry,
awful.
I'm gonna have to use this again, twice in one show. I was wrong, and I accept responsibility. The best Batman movie of all time wasn't 1966 Batman movie with Adam West. It was actually, Darian Destar is completely right here. It was the Batman Lego movie, which is the best Batman movie of all time.
I'm going to counter that and say that's a Lego movie.
I hate you, Joker. I really hate you.
They're different gravy, them films.
I really loved the Batman cartoon from 1992. I bought my brother
that was very good.
I bought him the box set of it. Me and him used to watch it when we were kids. And it was a really good animated series. Like, really.
Wasn't that the one where Mark Hamill played Joker?
Yes.
The voice
It
of
was.
The voice of Mark Hamill. Luke Skywalker, he played Joker. Very well.
I really loved the Adam West Batman, which was hilarious. I watched the film of that once when I was on mushrooms.
Best time to watch it.
That's the best sort of one.
Elle in the chat.
I was crying with laughter, like crying. I actually, at one point, I actually started nearly having a bad one because I was laughing so much my stomach hurt. Like, I couldn't, like, I was getting scared by how funny it was. It's funny without mushrooms.
Yeah, it's a good film.
Chris C in the chat says it all. Heath Ledger was the best Joker, full stop.
He was very good.
I agree.
Dark Knight,
I agree. He was very good. But I like, because he was kind of like the off the wall Joker, wasn't he? And then Jack Nicholson played gangster Joker, which was a great rendition of that character.
Mad gangster Joker, yeah.
Yeah. Whereas I honestly, I really, really hated the Joker film. I hated it.
I've not watched it.
I haven't seen it. Don't spoil it for me because I'm interested in watching it perhaps.
I think if it was just not Joker, if it was just a character that they just made up, and this is the stuff, fine. But to take Joker and make him that, I don't think you should watch it, Tan.
Maybe I shouldn't. Like, I don't know. I mean,
if you love Joker, if you take a Joker into your heart, this particular rendering of Joker, I find
it depends.
a little bit insulting to Joker.
There's different variations. I mean, I tell you, I did watch relatively recently. I rewatched Batman Returns, which is a Christmas film, and it was
Die Hard.
Yes.
Die Hard. I watch Die Hard every Christmas Eve without fail.
Yeah.
Followed by often the Christmas special of The Office, UK version only.
Is Gremlins a Christmas film?
Yes, absolutely. It's over Christmas. And she says, I don't celebrate Christmas. And it's like, why? And it's because my dad got stuck in the chimney dressed as Father Christmas. And then and then in the sequel, they totally took the piss out of it, where they were like, I don't celebrate Easter because my dad dressed up as the Easter bunny. And she's telling the story and everyone just like walks off. Because like, it's just... I love Gremlins 2, the new batch. I know it's shit, but I love it.
I remember Gremlins from like, God. But another Christmas film would be Eyes Wide Shut.
Yes, that is a strange Christmas film. That was all filmed in Britain. It's set in New York, and it was all filmed in Britain.
There's loads of the Kubrick geeks really geek out on it because he died obviously before or just after one of the cuts was.
Yeah, he finished it. He finished the cut. Then he went, "There you go. I'm going home now to die."
He didn't fully finish it though. There was apparently there's like loads of nerds who are like, sadly, some of them are the people who think he did the fucking moon landings. But there's people that are like, there's elements of it that were apparently cut out. It's such a good film though. I don't like to have a lot of time for Kubrick because he was a bit of a tosser, but he was brilliant at what he did. He was a proper perfectionist. Clockwork Orange, man. Like,
yeah. Should I go and get my keyboard according to that super chat there, Gray?
Sorry?
What?
Should I go and get my keyboard according to that super chat?
Yeah, you should. If you can find it. Sophia Lance 72. Thank you very much for the £2 super chat. Is that Wayne or Stevie Wonder? There you go.
You're just going to have to wonder.
Bernard Herrmann, who did the music for Psycho, he delivered the score for Taxi Driver and then went home and died. Literally just finished it and went, right. And then he died.
Why are these like directors and musicians acting like hamsters? Like, just gonna randomly die. Just gonna like.
Yeah, well, no, I mean Ozzy Osbourne. He went, right, I'm doing my final gig, and he's like, all right, I've done my final gig now. I can die.
Wasn't he like assisted?
Oh, I don't know.
I've heard rumours
that
it was assisted. In which case, good for him. Up to him. Just like how I don't know if you caught it, Wayne, but I'm going to create rumours about Graham's death if it's boring.
Yes, I saw that. I've got some
how about something that involves tentacle porn?
No.
Why do you always have to go to sexy stuff with you, Gray?
or shit. Like, it's like, I'm not doing anything poo related.
Okay, nothing poo related.
I'm keeping it funny.
So I can't fall into a septic tank.
Knowing you, it'd be like, oh, can I fall into a septic tank with a tentacle up my arsehole? Oh,
what a way to go. Come on, people won't forget that, will they? They'll be like, remember that guy who died in that mad...
They wouldn't forget the septic tank.
Elle was asking earlier about Deep Throat being in X-Files. Yes, in the first season of X-Files, although he dies at the end of the first season. Sorry, spoilers. They have a government contact called Deep Throat because that's a throwback to the Watergate, when the contact in the US government who fed information to the two journalists working for the Washington Post, I think, he called himself Deep Throat, or they called him Deep Throat, because he had a very deep voice. Also, there was a porn film with the same name.
I was thinking that's the only thing anyone ever thinks of when they hear that.
Yep.
They're not thinking of a government contact.
Well, they got away with it in the 90s, like on a family TV show, The X-Files.
That is unbelievable.
Hey, look, they got away with One-Eyed Willie in Goonies. They got away with anything.
One-Eyed Willie. One-Eyed Willie.
Strangled by his own hat. There you go, Tan. Strangled by his own hat. What's the missionary is suggesting?
Boring. I really like Mr. Blobby idea, getting booted out of a window, indignitas route.
Piss off the wrong Russians.
No. Oh yeah, boated off a container ship by Mr. Blobby. Yeah.
No, or whilst dressed. No, just getting booted off whilst dressed as Mr. Blobby by a man that looks suspiciously Russian.
Yeah.
That is a brilliant tale.
Or being thrown off that boat by a man suspiciously who looks like Uncle Phil from The Fresh Prince. You're going Jazzy Jeff style, bruv.
Yeah, but that could end up with racial overtones. I do think the idea of getting booted off by Mr. Blobby is turn this around. You're right. Like, if you think about the optics of getting kicked off a shipping container
by Mr. Blobby, murdered by Mr. Blobby.
Murdered by Mr. Blobby.
And everyone go, that's the way he wants to go.
That's what he would have wanted.
Mr. Blobby and Graham recreate the scenes from Titanic. Instead of missing the iceberg belly, they just go straight into it. Just
rewrite history, man. Just like, why not? Like
on the way to a Dignitas clinic.
On the way, yeah. Oh, the irony of that. I mean, in my videos, I've often talked about, like, I used to joke about, because I was proper parrot in the early days, but when I was getting all the hackings from the IP addresses that were Russian and that, and I was getting kind of weird calls in the middle of the night, I actually made a joke in my video about how, like, I was asking if they could send, like, a villanelle to do me in, because that's what I would want. But I would equally also want to be asphyxie wanked off a door handle. It's I'm into that. So,
we've got some bad news for Wayne. I'm
just collecting that.
Uncle Phil is dead. Yeah, he is. The actor who played Uncle Phil died.
But that means that we can say it was him, because that adds a paranormal aspect.
No, I did. If we go back and check the record, I said someone that looked like him.
No, but I was thinking it could be him, like, because...
Oh, okay. Well, Sphere Lance is saying Graham will die when a kangaroo recognises his granddad on Graham's head. How about a ridiculous animal to be killed by, like a chipmunk or something just fucking mad? Like, how can anyone possibly die by chipmunk.
Let's not go down the hamster or gerbil route, please.
I've started getting very scared lately. Like I develop kind of weird phobias from time to time. And after reading a story, I've actually developed an intense fear of getting rabies. Because a woman on holiday in Morocco
Yeah, this was
got
recent.
scratched by a stray dog.
Yeah.
And then developed rabies and died. And like once you've got rabies, you're fucked. Nothing can help you. And I started Googling like, you know, is there still rabies in Britain? It's been eradicated here for years, apart from bats carry like rabies-like illnesses. So if you're fucking around with bats, you're
And
probably...
they're protected, fuckers.
Well, so they should be because they've got rabies.
Yeah.
Like, don't
Get
mess
rid,
with a
get
bat
rid.
or you're going to get rabies. You know, it's like, it's a fair trade-off, I think. Like,
But if you...
we don't want none, bruv. We don't want none.
they're like this. Don't want none. Don't want none.
If you do get scratched or bitten by a dog or anything on holiday, if you get your rabies jab straight away, it will stop you from dying from it. But you've got to get, because as soon as you start presenting symptoms, which might take a couple of weeks to actually get symptoms from it, you're dead. Yeah,
it can take months.
Yeah,
I heard something like that. There is a possibility of getting a jab, but in Britain, obviously, we don't have that. The answer to everything, if you get in a nasty scrape in Britain, is just get a tetanus jab. There's not.
No, should walk it off.
You can get
right.
I got a rabies jab before. Well, 3 rabies jabs before I went traveling around the world.
Oh, so you got them before?
Yeah.
Oh, so there is a way to kind of like...
Oh, yeah, you can get it. It's quite expensive. I mean, it was quite expensive back then. It's probably even more now. But it's like, when I got it, I think it was 3 injections. You got 1, and then a week later you got the second one, and a month later you got the third one.
I would definitely invest in a rabies jab.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a pal of mine was taking his family to Thailand recently, and he was advised to get jabs, and he went, no, fuck it, I'll be all right. I was like, what? I was like...
It's because we don't have anything that people die of here. Do you know what I mean? We don't have dengue fever. We don't have encephalitis. We don't have elephantitis. We don't have malaria. I mean,
you can get encephalitis as a complication of other things, but
but not from mosquitoes in this country. That's
no. West Nile. My auntie got that in Perth. She got West Nile virus. I think it was from a mosquito. But you don't. But the point is, like, what a stupid thing to do if you're going somewhere where you've got an opportunity. Do you know what it is? It's anti-vax logic. It's this
massively
anti-vax thing that we are inheriting idiocy from America.
But also, it's white supremacy. Was your mate who said this, were they black or white, Wayne?
I don't wish to say. I think I've said too much already.
Oh, okay. Might give it away who it was. Because a lot of times, white people will go to somewhere like in Africa and they'll walk around thinking that only black people can get these diseases and they can't get them because they're magically protected by their fucking, their whiteness of their skin or something.
But can I say, I've done the opposite. When I first went to Spain, I was like, I don't need any of that sun cream muck. I've never had it before in my life. Got burnt to a crisp.
It's slightly different, but also there was a very low uptake of vaccinations in people of colour, and the reason for that was actually very logical, which was the fact that like you had fucking experiments done on you and awful shit, and there's like and also there's like rampant medical racism, and I can understand why. That is one of the very few scenarios where I was like, I get it, fair enough. But fucking like, your Aunt Mildred saying, oh, Bill Gates is going to bum 5G into me. That's a different scenario altogether. Like,
now we're seeing polio make a comeback in Afghanistan and Pakistan, and it's the fucking CIA's fault. Because what did they do when they were looking for Osama bin Laden? They did a fake vaccination drive. How irresponsible is that? No matter how much they wanted to get that guy, it wasn't worth the suffering and deaths of thousands of children in the future.
Especially considering they fucking created him.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going down that rabbit hole again.
No, I mean, it was the Saudis that did it. They didn't even pretend they didn't do it. They were like, yeah, can you get us all out the country, please? Because we just blown up these towers and everyone's angry with us. And they're like, okay, no worries. No worries. The Bin Laden family will fly you out of America the next day.
It's like
the
how
only plane that was allowed to leave America.
It's all right. It's all right. Iraq will cop it for you.
Yeah, we'll go and invade some country that had nothing to do with it.
Just like how they're
Right.
fighting loads of Hamas fucking cowards.
Yeah. Well, this brings us back to my main topic of tonight, which was the fact that they have backheeled £500 million worth of research into vaccines in America.
What an amazing... If we could tie together
£500
everything that we have discussed until we got back to that point, it would be like... What an amazing, what a neat little bow to tie it all up in.
George only says, thanks to RFK, rabies will be on the increase, won't it? Thanks for the super chat, George. Yes, because if people get vaccinated, then they won't get it.
But as in, what's it? They've got salmonella on the rise now because you're getting people to drink milk straight from the teats of,
raw milk
from cars.
Yeah, that's a thing now, apparently.
Right out the teat. Yeah, great idea.
Straight out.
Just like not even like milking them, just sucking it straight out the teat, you know.
Exactly. Family of 4, 1 on each. Let's go.
Oh, we're just going down to the cow.
How did we get here?
Fucking morons, believing morons. That's how we get here. There's like
are we talking about the general chat or just us?
We're talking about life. Them. We're better than them. They're just idiots. Like, I mean, the rise of idiocy. It's just like, it's so easy. It's never, do you know what? It's never been easier in all existence to fact check something ever.
Yeah.
And it is not, I don't even think it's laziness. I think it is them making a decision to believe mad shit. It's a choice, just like how racism is a choice, homophobia is a choice. It's not something you're born with. Kids don't give a fuck about that. It's something that is learned, and you either dismiss it or you roll with it because it gives you some feeling of superiority or strength, or it's just bullying behaviour. Like, it gives you something.
I think it comes down to Kevin Bridges did a really good bit on this. And he said about, that mad lad down the pub who's talking about conspiracy theories and that. And he says, all you need to do is just put a hand on his shoulder and say, have a good night, pal, and walk away. Unfortunately, that geezer's now got a laptop. He's pumping it out everywhere.
No, but they can find someone on the other side of the planet who believes the same mad shit as he does. That's the problem. People aren't. Village idiots aren't put back in their box anymore where they fucking belong. No. And this is it. This is the tyranny of the village idiot. Sorry, Tom.
Well, sorry, I'm interrupting you. People are commodifying it, and people in power have realised, this is a great way to dismiss anything that's ever thrown at me. Like, look at the way that Brand and Tate, etc., are relying and utilising conspiracy. Like, if they get their followers to believe any mad shit, they're going to automatically think that it's like outside forces, or like, what is it, the deep state, or it's like the Matrix, or it's, they're after me, they're all out for me. It's that level of it gives them a shield of protection against whatever is thrown at them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you got the likes of Alex Jones and the latest one.
Oh my God.
Candice Mad Cunt Owens, who's
God. For saying that the first lady of France is a man.
Is a man. And she's doubling down. She's been on Piers Morgan twice. So
she's going to get sued, man.
Good. I hope she gets sued.
She's going to get bartened.
Piers Morgan had a panel on the other day of legal experts to see what they say. And apparently the reason...
Why are they platforming this mad shit? Like, what?
Clickbait, isn't it?
Even Piers Morgan, though, fuck me. That is like...
I'll watch it just for sheer... Just turn my brain off and just watch these mad cunts go. And he even had this poor lady on there. She was running for... She was in her mid-20s. She's running for... I can't remember what state it was, but she was running on a Democratic ticket. And he straight out asked her about that controversy about the girl wearing the genes, is that girl a Nazi? And she said, well, why are you asking me that? Like, literally, why are you asking me that? And then she mentioned about a conspiracy about it, and she mentioned something about the particular letters, and he went, there you go, you're calling her a Nazi. And she went, I didn't say that.
Yeah.
And he kept doubling down on it. Oh, it's people like you on the left that just call everyone a Nazi if you don't agree with you.
I would call them a Nazi eugenicist. I think we've got someone in the chat actually here. Loco Pie or something. RFK Jr. is removing dicks from the gene pool. Is this bad? Removing anyone from the gene pool is eugenicists, right? The eugenics, right? That is the dictionary definition of eugenics, which is what the fucking Nazis did. My granddad didn't sit down with Nazis. He didn't make friends with Nazis. He didn't vote for Nazis. He didn't go to rallies who were presided over by Nazis. He fired fucking torpedoes at fucking Nazis because he was in the Royal fucking Navy and that was his fucking job. And that's what everyone should do to Nazis. Fire fucking torpedoes at them.
Likewise,
don't say, oh, well, maybe they've got a point. Maybe some people need removing from the gene pool. I'm like, no. What RFK Jr. is doing is removing people who are immunosuppressed, who can't have vaccines because they have an allergy to one of the ingredients in there, or there's some other reason they cannot get vaccinated, and they rely on herd immunity. And to have herd immunity, you need 90% of any given community to be vaccinated. And if it's lower than 90%, then children are going to die. And children have already died in America. There was a 6-year-old kid, and the parents were like, well, it's what God wanted. I mean, like, what is wrong with them? How can they say that about their own child, that they allowed to die? I think they should go to jail.
This is being normalised here too. This is being like, and it's not just that, but like we're talking like really deeply racist conspiracies, and it's all linked into the same bullshit as what you're talking about there with like the eugenics and the pure bloods and the white is right. Like it is deeply Nazi, language that's being just normalized on platforms that you would not expect it to be normalized on. And so we've got no defense against it, because you see this kind of normalization of far right talking points on the front of newspapers. You see it online everywhere. Like boys, for the first time in like modern history, the younger generation is more misogynistic than the older generation. And then obviously you've got like how the far right co-opt kind of misogyny as a way to kind of recruit and like keep women in their place and get the boys to be this bullshit 1950s regressive role. And then you've got it now being just all over the news, like all over like politics shows. Like you've got Newsnight platforming fucking Tice and reform oiks all the time. There's no escape from it, and there's no real counter to it, and there's only so much us lot can do. And instead of Labour utilising people like us, they invite fucking food bloggers into Number 10 and like NFT salesmen and fucking crypto dickheads and financiers.
Well, they're being advised what to do now by a guy who wrote for the fucking Sun.
I mean, as if like
well done,
that's
Labour.
Just basically like killed off the last remaining Liverpudlian voters who are like one of their secure bases. Like the Liverpool vote has always been strong and pro-Labour. Anything like, not only, and it's not just that, Graham, like in terms of like the history of Hillsborough and the Sun, but it's also the fact that they're not bringing forward anything meaningful in terms of the Hillsborough law. Like they've slept on that since April. That should have come through in April. They slept on it. They're failing to put in legislation that includes a duty of candour, which is really important, vitally important to keep accountability. They are basically shitting in the faces of anyone that would vote Labour. It's indefensible. Like even Phil, who is probably the most pragmatic person I can think of in terms of Labour, is no longer a member. I gave up my membership like months after they took office. when they opened with the most insane legacy that you could ever imagine, which was cutting, making cuts when they promised that they wouldn't,
Yeah,
that they promised.
agreed.
But they're happy to go back on that promise, but they're not happy to go back on just making people fucking pay tax.
The problem we've got is, I think, the commoditization of politicians, in the sense of, I'm not going to go on this particular show because I know I'm going to have a tough time. So I'd rather go on this show where they're going to tickle my belly. And if I say something a little bit controversial, I'm not going to get any pushback. And then, do you know what? I'll go back there again and again. And what happens there is, all they're doing is spreading misinformation. And because the media figure is not pushing back, the viewer then goes away thinking that they're correct. And I think it should be like, it should be sort of like an open forum where these politicians are made to go on to sit in front of panels, and they're publicised, where people have got, like, they can fact check them right there and have it done, so people can say, excuse me, yeah, but you said this on this date. What do you think of that? Really test them. If they've got any steel about their argument, then they should be able to stand it up and say, right, I mean, who was it? There was a fuck geezer on LBC, and
Tice,
he said he's going to make 17 billion pounds worth of saving. He was going to find 17 billion pounds to make the street safe and all that. And he's like, well, where are you going to get that from? And he was like, well, we can do this and we can
net
do
zero.
that.
We'll get rid of net zero because they're taking backhanders from the fossil fuel industry.
Yeah.
So getting your carbonaceous slime from the other side of the world and then bringing it over to Britain and then eventually putting it in your car 6 months later is a much more efficient way of getting energy into your car than just plugging it into a wind turbine.
Yeah. I mean, I could give you chapter and verse on the corruption in the green industry, because obviously that's somewhere where I do work.
Greenwashing that's been put out there by the oil companies. I was talking about that on Morning Brew this week, about the plastic con. Like 9% of plastics are recycled. Of all the stuff we put in the recycling, only 9% actually gets recycled. Plastic can't be recycled. It's bullshit. Your metal can, glass can, but not I mean,
plastic. You're getting loads of councils that are putting solar panels on their houses for their residents, and what they're doing is basically the money that gets generated and sent back to the grid, that's their money. Yeah. The resident doesn't really get any benefit from it, because unless they're out at work all day and then don't use any electric of an evening, they ain't getting any benefit from that. And it's all right putting solar panels on your house, unless you're going to put a battery in there. Yeah, it's pointless.
Yeah. I'm not getting into the whole Corbyn thing, because we talked about that a couple of weeks ago. Some people did with Mike on the channel. But as John is just saying in the chat, Zach Balansky, pushing hard to be the Greens' new leader, said he would welcome Corbyn into the party, both public schools, OBs. Yeah, I'm quite surprised that Corbyn didn't just join the Greens, but I know why he didn't. And it's because he's 99% ego, that man. And people disagree with me, and they think he's a humble man. But I've met his type before, and they pretend to be humble, when actually it's all about them. And the reason why...
Would you like some of my jam?
Yeah. The reason why we had a Tory government with a majority, with Boris Johnson at the head of it, when COVID came along, instead of a national government, that was a majority national government, was because when the people who were kicked out of the Tories and the Lib Dems and most of Labour were getting together saying, hey, we've now got a majority over the Tories, let's not have an election, let's bring in a government of national unity. Corbyn said, no, unless I can lead it. Only I can save the world. Only I can save Britain. And the ego of that man can be seen from space. And that's why he didn't join the Greens, which would make much more sense. They've established, they've got a name that helps. You've got to vote for someone. They've got policy platforms. They've got a manifesto. They've got hundreds of councillors already around. They've got the hundreds of volunteers. probably thousands of volunteers actually, and he didn't join them. So I think that speaks for itself. But there you go. L says everyone has an identity. No one has the right to question anyone on this. Well, L, I'm going to take issue with you there because I want to just say that I take issue with Kemi Badenoch deciding she's not Nigerian.
So she actually has realised you can identify as something other than what you were born as.
It's okay for her to do it, but nobody else can. Nobody else can identify as something other than their designated status
At
birth by someone.
I mean, I can't believe she is trying to get props for being a grass.
She's mad. She's not all there.
They're all trying that out right to right, and it's so blatant and cheesy and totally obvious.
Do you know what she's reminding me of now? She's reminding me of Liz Truss. You know, that kind of like, I grassed someone up for cheating in an exam.
She's got no.
And you're like, what? What did you just say? Pork markets.
Who was your man going around one of the London stations, like saying,
fucking
Dodger.
Jenrick.
Oh, Jenrick. Robert Jenrick, the guy who diddled Tower Hamlets Council out of £50 million.
What was his name? Something Desmond. Yeah,
Richard Desmond, the publisher. Did they ever say what he published? Oh yeah, Burley Legal magazine in the 1980s. Burley Legal, it was called.
Helped him cheat his way out of a huge amount of tax on a bunch of luxury flats. But Pillsbury Fash Boy, he used to just be a kind of like not, unassuming, just, he didn't used to be like this until he realised he could make some serious bank out of being a fash, and now he's going around basically trying to prejudice fucking trials, and it's full MAGA. Like Ed Davies calling it out, as I was saying to Graham earlier, the former head of counter-terrorism's calling it out for what it is, but no fuckers giving them airtime. What are you hearing instead? A week-long public discussion on whether or not the fucking burqa should be banned because some reform dickhead decided to be massively racist in PM. So this is the thing, they've got like a stranglehold on the comms, and as Aid and I often agree on, it all comes back to regulation of the media.
Yep.
And implementing some form of proper social media regulation. What are you doing, Fred?
Yeah, I mean we've all said it whenever there's like a splash on a front page that turns out to be untrue, the retraction should be equally as big. And this is where we got this wrong. This is where we got this wrong.
There should be no falsehoods. Like there should be no the headline should be purely factual, descriptive. This is
boring
information.
Should be boring.
But exactly, without a free and fair press, you do not have a democracy. So we do not have a democracy. Anyway, I need to go to bed. I'm tired, man.
Yes, I think we need to call it a night. We're coming up to midnight. We're coming up to the thing.
Sleepy.
Graham's being sorry, El. I was being sarcastic because what Kemi Badenoch decided this week that you could change your identity if you're rich and went to private school.
Yeah, this was a satirical comment on.
Yeah, so I do obviously support people's right to self-determination when it comes to how they present themselves to the world. It's got nothing to do with me.
She doesn't. Yeah. This is the thing.
Yeah. My only opinion on what people do with themselves is does it hurt anyone? No? Okay, cool. Go with God.
Don't be a twat.
Don't be a twat. That should be it.
Right now I'm Wayne Maker, but in chat I'm Supermassive Wayne.
Supermassive Wanker. What?
What? Oh, there you go.
Hey.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I've not heard that one before, mate.
Well, listen, I'll tell you what, Wayne. So you're working on Thursday nights?
Yeah.
So Friday morning, next Friday, are you going to be about?
Yeah, I'll be home by 5.
5 o'clock.
Yeah.
You have a bit of a kip, yeah?
No, I don't go out kip till at least midday.
Oh, right, okay. Well, we can meet you for brunch.
Yeah, 100%.
Right, let's go meet Wayne for brunch.
He lives miles from me.
Does he?
Yeah,
No,
very
it's
thought
not
you all
that
lived down
far.
south.
I'll get in the Audi, won't I?
Getting
Well,
his
you
milk
can come-
float.
You can come up to us, but like the difference between north and south, like Essex, is pretty. I'm pretty much as north as you can go, and he's pretty much as south as you
You
can go.
know that Wayne is the fastest milkman in the south.
In the south.
In the south.
All right, Tan, I'll fire up that quattro and get up that A12 liggity split.
You are the fastest Stevie Wonder in the south.
Exactly.
Kirsty Mattia says, get solar and batteries. They are great. Couldn't agree more.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to call it a night. Thank you so much, Tan, for coming on tonight. Tan's like, I'll just come on for half an hour. And here she is, 2.5 hours later.
I've been a bit ranty, yeah.
Absolute legend. Thank you. And Wayne, thanks for coming on, my friend.
Always a pleasure,
Nice
my
to have
friend.
you. I hope you had an enjoyable week off.
It pretty much did fuck all.
That sounds like an enjoyable week off. I want a week where I do fuck all. Unfortunately, that's not usually the case. It's like straight home and then straight back onto it.
He was
Okay.
Master Blaster.
Yeah, indeed. So
there we go.
big
Well
shout
done.
out to everyone watching. Thank you for everyone who's dropped a chat in. Thanks to everyone who's dropped a super chat in. If you could do one little thing for us before you go, if you could just drop a like into the chat, that we would like that very much, because it just adds to the algorithm or something. Feed the algorithm.
Sorry.
The algorithm is always hungry. It's midnight. It's time to go. Until next time, thank you for watching. Hello. Good evening. Welcome and goodbye.